Six, congratulations on being the first of us to beat Last of Us.
God!
Wait, dude, come on,
Speaking
man.
of The Last of Us, I hate that segue, by the way.
He was waiting.
Wait. Don't say anything
anything
about Last of Us whatsoever. I am playing it.
Ah, yes, whether it's a beer, a shot, or even a glass of wine. Ryan.
Ryan on the glass.
Grab your favorite beverage and welcome to the Level 857 Video Game Podcast. We are your host today, Algie857.
The 23rd Stallion.
Sticks.
Turbo 857.
And your boy Big Chop, what up?
And we have very special guests in the house tonight. Diego and Cosmo, developers for the insane co-op puzzle game Brain Teaser, Damage in Transit.
Yes.
Available right now for Nintendo Switch and PC Mac.
Oh, look at you. All right. Look at you. First timer right there. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on?
How you doing?
Welcome to the show.
How's it going, guys?
Well,
Thanks for having us.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Good.
great to have you.
It's very humid today, man.
Dude, I would like already just started like sweating a little bit.
already.
I don't know. I think it's this damn light over here.
But we got the AC on full blast.
That shit ain't working.
And yeah.
You got too many lights on and too many human
Actually,
bodies in here.
I think
Yeah.
did the filter get changed? Why
Hell.
are we talking about this?
Maybe we should talk about something more pertinent.
Hold on, let me give him a call. Give me a second.
Hold on.
Actually, like every podcast, we're going to start talking about the games that we've been playing this week.
That's correct.
Bang, bang.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat, by the way. Also,
Yes.
What up, chat?
Always shout
Definitely,
out to the
definitely,
Welcome.
definitely.
all right.
So we're here for you. So who'd like to begin?
Why don't we start with our guests?
All right, let's start with again. Let's start with Diego. What have you been playing lately?
Oh boy, I'm going through the backlog, so I'm still working on Sekiro. I think one of you saw my tweet. I've been working on one boss in Sekiro since February. I beat it today.
Man,
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I heard that game was tough.
That's what that drink is.
Yeah,
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
It's February shit.
yeah, that and I don't know what else. I guess I've been playing a little Sludge Life. You know that game?
Sludge Life.
Oh yeah.
It was free on Epic Games a couple weeks ago. Actually, I think it's actually still free for the next year.
Gotta check it out.
Sludge Life. It's like a graffiti. It's kind of like if you took the rollerblading out of Jet Set Radio and like upped the world building a little bit.
Oh.
It's really good.
That's pretty cool.
It's just like exploring a little world and spray painting around.
Okay.
And then Golf on Mars on my phone. I've been playing.
Mobile game love. Mobile game love.
It counts.
Yeah.
It counts.
As far as Sekiro, how far into the game are you? And a lot of people say that's like game of the year. Have you gotten that feeling of that game, or because I've never played it, so I don't really know much about it.
I have a deep love and a deep hatred for it. I have really mixed feelings
I know
for
that
it.
kind of feeling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I love the world. The environments are super beautiful. There's a way that, like, the stealth segments kind of become this almost, like, rhythm game-like choreographed dance that's really cool.
That's interesting.
And I even really like the process of, like, learning the bosses and fighting them. But also, it is so frustrating to die. Like, I must have died 150 plus times on this boss.
Is that all?
That's it. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing on and off since February, I should say. So that's frustrating. But then also, like, there are consumable items that run out every time you fight the boss because, like, you die, but you've still used those items. So it's not like a full reload. And so, like, sometimes you have to, like, go grind elsewhere in between. And in the beginning of the game, that's okay because there's, like, a bunch of paths. Right. But I'm far enough in now that I'm, like, just... like, I need to go back to this lady because she's the one that gives me the special rice. That's like my one extra healing item that I definitely need because I'm not good enough to beat this boss.
That's just cool.
Yeah, and the load time is long too, so every death is like that much worse. You know?
This feels so cruel.
PS5 will be a better system for the Souls
As he
games, I think.
explained it, I felt like it was hurting.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my
Felt
god.
the pain. Imagine grinding all that way and it's like you just die right away.
Man.
It's cool though. I mean, I shouldn't end on complaining. I like the game a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like it's obvious that there's definitely something that keeps you coming back. You know, the gameplay or the atmosphere and all that stuff. So that's good.
Yeah, it's like on the one hand, I've been playing the same boss since February. On the other hand, I've been playing the same boss since February.
Not sure you keep coming back to it, so it has to have some value to it.
Know
Yeah.
this boss.
You've been chilling with him on this whole pandemic.
Yeah.
That's history right
Is
there.
that all you're playing?
Right now, and I think I said Warzone. I'm playing like, that's my like.
Call of Duty.
I miss my friends and it's quarantine. That's like. Also, a lot of my best friends are in LA now, so that's like our weekly to daily hangout
dope.
is Warzone.
That's
That's
awesome.
pretty cool.
Man.
Yeah.
Games bringing people together.
Hell yeah, man.
I have yet to play that. I downloaded it, took up all the space in my hard drive. I have yet to play it.
Wow.
It definitely takes up space.
These games just keep getting bigger, man.
Yeah,
Oh my
they're
gosh.
massive.
Nah,
Red
it's
Dead
like,
2.
It's maxed out like 100 gigs, 110 gigs.
That's
so
insane.
That's it. That's it.
Once they get to 100.
And every update is like, an hour to download and an hour to like copy the files or whatever.
It only takes like 30 seconds to delete, though.
Definitely does.
He is telling you something.
Exactly.
No, but I mean, if it's used as a hangout with your boys, though, that's worth it. Then.
Yeah, that's crucial. Especially now, it's
Good.
crucial.
Yeah.
Yep. Seriously.
What about you, Cosmo?
What am I playing? So I'm playing a game that came out last year. It's by this company out of Poland that made the Layers of Fear games. I don't know if you ever played those, like horror,
First
kind of like
person.
weird haunted house
Yes.
exploration games. But they made a game called Observer, which is set in like cyberpunk world. It's very dystopian. It's kind of an adventure-y. Just walk through this apartment. But it's really well made, and it has Rutger Hauer randomly, rest in peace, Rutger Hauer, in the game
Wow.
as like the lead.
Wow.
That was interesting. And then I'm playing a little bit of tabletop simulator on my computer because I play a lot of board games, and my friends and I we used to get together and play board games, but now we can't. So we use this as kind of our middle way, and it like simulates a board, physics, cards, the whole thing, and it people mod every board game ever into
That's
this.
dope.
So we're all playing our
awesome.
games. Yeah, it's awesome. So any board game you've played from
Mousetrap.
any time in your life is probably yes. Mousetrap.
Hungry Hippo.
Hungry hippo. He says.
I would wager that those games are good.
Oh, definitely.
That's awesome, man.
So yeah, so that's what I'm playing mostly. A little of this and that. You kind of make me want to get Diego back into Sekiro. I'm not as far as you. I'm playing a little
Where are
Divinity
you?
2. Oh, the ogre, the chained up ogre, like nowhere.
First
And
boss.
Yeah.
I was already like, what? I can't.
Just press start.
But yeah, like a little Divinity 2, little tabletop sim, a little Sekiro, little bit of the Surge 2. Different flavor of Souls-like. I really like what they did with the Surge 2.
Okay.
Little XCOM 2 for my strategy.
XCOM.
I try to keep a broad palette.
Nice.
That is pretty broad, actually.
That's actually very like. Usually developers have like one game they're playing because they're
Yeah.
so busy.
Yeah. I like it when people have like games that I don't mess with. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's fucking dope. I'm like, all right, cool.
But you had some games that sparked some interest too. That I'm familiar with. Not bad.
Some of them I play to study, and some of them I play to just escape and
Right.
chill. Some of them I play because I just love the genre. So
Okay.
there you go.
Awesome.
All right, who else wants to go over here?
I'll go first. I'm only playing one game.
I was gonna say.
Oh, really? One game. Finally, someone else is on just one game.
I was just playing a whole lot of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Warzone or
Warzone.
yeah?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
it's so fun.
Yeah.
Get at me.
I see the challenge. The
I mean,
gauntlet has been
listen.
tossed.
I'm not that. I'm not that.
You'll win. I'm not good.
It should be a great match.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
But I will say, like 2 nights ago, I went like my kill death ratio was like 50 and 25. I went Damn. It
Oh,
was
so you actually did?
insane.
Oh, okay. So that's an
That just means you
accomplishment.
played for a long time. That don't mean nothing.
It was in one game, bro. It was in one
He
game.
thought that was a tally over time.
Yeah.
No, it was in one game.
That's
Wow,
fucked
what
up.
kind of
So, you know,
That was your weekend.
yo, I hate you. But yeah, that's all I'm playing. That game really grew on me because I loved the campaign, but the multiplayer I was like, whatever. Then I just dove into it, and it was a double XP weekend, so I was like,
Might as
why
well.
not?
No, they had, to,
Wow.
they had to take away the campaign for you to care.
Yeah, but I'm a campaign Call of Duty player, and
Yeah.
I don't mess with the online at all.
It can be
So
frustrating.
I would be able to enjoy that though. You think?
The online?
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I guess I'm not, yeah.
No,
I think
I
something
mean,
like
don't get
that-
me wrong.
Online.
I
gotta
had
get in
fun
early.
but I was screaming at the top of my lungs.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
No, something like that, you would have fun with playing with people that you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay,
that makes
alright.
more sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
because on shipment, and Diego can probably like quote me on this, like you'll be in the middle of a gunfight and you die, right? And then you'll respawn you in front of your enemy. So you die again. Then they
up.
respawn you in someone else's crosshairs, and then you die again.
Wow.
And then you're just
I
like,
gotta say, I mean, that's why I like the battle royale, right? Like, I haven't played the regular multiplayer in Call of Duty in probably since Black Ops 2 or something, right? And like, what I like about the battle royale is it's so much slower. There's like a lot more of a dramatic arc that's a little more similar to single player, but also like if you get into one of those games and die in 30 seconds, it's real bad.
yeah.
Anytime I
Exit
play.
to the lobby and like search and whatever.
Yeah, and I think with one of them, you have to, like, if you die, you get dragged to the gulag, and then you have to fight your
The
way out.
gulag?
And if you don't, and if you lose to the fight to get back in, you're done. You're out of the game.
Damn.
Wow.
That'd be quick for me then.
Unless you're playing with friends, then they can buy you.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
All right.
It's cool.
Sorry, that's not
I'd
too
be
bad.
dead in seconds.
30
I'd be like-
seconds
I'd be
sounds
like-
like a lot of time. I would think I'd be dead in 5.
I'm like, there's a person, bullet.
Yep.
There's a person,
It's
bullet.
like-
There's nobody here, bullet. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I just get caught everywhere.
I'm terrible at first person.
But yeah, that's all I'm playing.
If they ever figured
Okay.
out a way to do time splitters like that, man.
Yeah, time splitters is over.
I used to rock you all the time.
What is
splitters.
time split?
I don't know
You
about
don't
all.
know?
I actually was
thought
killing
that's
people
it.
in time splitters.
No, you were, but I was killing more people.
I don't know.
So
I
it's
don't remember that.
Of course you don't remember that because I won.
No, there's no footage of that.
on.
Those,
course
those,
it's-
those are
of
just
course there's no
words. Those are
footage.
just
There's no
words.
evidence.
Of course there's no
Cut
footage.
his mic.
I like that.
Exactly.
That series should make a
I'll
comeback.
go quick because I only have like 3 games I've been playing. Of course, me and 23rd Stallion had just beat Hunt Down
Hunt down. Yes.
Oh, you beat it?
about an hour ago.
Yep.
We beat it, yeah.
Finally. I'm sorry.
Awesome game.
They were lying though. They said we were 47% done.
Yeah, well, when we started at 47%, and we were like,
but we only played a stage.
We
right?
played for an hour and 20 minutes.
But it was still like just one stage.
It
I was like,
one
oh, it's
stage
over.
It's one stage with 4 or 5 bosses.
I think it has to do with the collectibles too. We
Oh,
set the
yes,
percentage too,
yes,
so
yes,
that's
yes,
probably why
that's
it wasn't
true.
like 100.
That's true.
But it's a dope game. Awesome.
But yo, the first boss that we fought was crazy, and the last boss of the game, like the final boss, of course, it's expected to be
Spoiler
tough.
alert. Spoiler.
But yeah, spoiler. Yeah.
There's
the
no
last boss
spoilers.
is tough.
The last boss is tough. That's a
Oh,
spoiler
dear.
alert.
I
Really?
ruined it. I'm sorry.
It's a difficult boss. Jesus Christ.
You never know.
But yeah, no, it was a challenging game, but it brought me back to like it made me remember like the old school, like Contra and the old school
Yeah, very contra.
difficulty of like all like the Castlevania elements of that and
That was
Ninja
dope.
Gaiden and the deaths are just
it looks
crazy.
like an awesome game, actually.
Fun.
It's really, really Hunt Down looks really
Fun.
good.
Yeah.
Really,
and you
really
can revive your if you're playing co-op, you can revive your
Wait, someone talking smack in the chat?
Yo, shout out to Justin Adams. He was like, "Oh, hey, Sean Kingston." He was like, "Yo,
Wow.
tell the guy to the extreme right to saying somebody called 911." No, not
So it's like, who's he talking about?
He called you Sean Kingston. That's messed up.
It's close as you're getting.
It's messed up. Messed up. What else you playing?
well, another game I actually only played for like maybe 30 minutes of it. You watched me play.
Oh,
It's
what
like-
is that? What is that game?
It's a game that actually just came out on the Switch yesterday, as a matter of fact. It's called Super Liminal. It's also out on the PS4. How do I describe this game? The game
Puzzle, right?
It's a puzzle.
Definitely
It's a 3D first-person puzzle game. It basically takes place in a dream. You're dreaming, and you're trying to get through this like lab, and they don't really explain anything. but the story kind of unfolds as you play,
It's a narrative, though, right?
and it's all about perspective. Yeah, it's sort of a narrative, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's all
weird.
about perspective. So you see like a little chess piece, you pick it up, you bring it up closer to your face, and then you let go, and it's this giant.
Yeah,
chess
it's
piece,
it's so
and you
weird.
have to use it to
so-
hit the switches and stuff to get to the next room.
That's
Yeah,
cool
it
though.
very-
That's very cool.
It's like
It messes with perspective.
it's a
basically.
perspective thing, but it reminds me of like Portal, of how like 3D puzzle games, how like that changed the genre.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
Bad
similar in that
flashbacks
way.
already.
I'm about to say, Chunk, love
Having
him
bad
some Portal.
flashbacks
Yeah,
already.
love some Portal.
But I'm a puzzle game guy.
Yeah.
I love puzzle games. And yeah, that's Damage in Transit. You guys did an amazing job with that, man. And making a co-op puzzle game.
Oh, we'll
at that.
talk. We'll
But,
we'll
yeah,
get to them in a bit. I got a bone to pick with that.
Oh, man. No, but it was a pretty cool game. And the other game I'm playing, going back to the retro roots, I got the Game Boy Advance SP.
Nice.
Right here.
Dude, I didn't even know what the hell that was.
I
when
won
you
it
had
in an
that.
auction.
New cell phone.
Yeah, I thought it was an old ass cell phone.
Hell, man.
Came with Tetris Worlds for the. I've
remember
been
that.
playing a lot of this actually. This is really.
That was a
good.
great handheld. It
This
really
is
was.
really really good, man. Awesome.
This
awesome
shit's
game.
tiny. Look at that thing.
Tiny thing. Look at that.
I missed that form factor.
Yeah,
I just wish
well,
it
it
was
was-
like a
it
thinner
was a real-
version. They can make a thinner version.
I
of
just
that,
about to
that'd be
say, yeah,
Oh,
just make
man.
it thin. It'll probably put that shit in your pocket.
But that's
Still
pretty
do
much
that.
it. That's pretty much it, man.
All right, I'll go next to get this
I'll
off
just
my
wait.
chest. What?
dope. I'll just win.
I know. So
I said I'll go next.
Oh my
Oh,
Jesus.
dear
I told you he was gonna steal. He
Dad
was gonna
jokes.
joke just
Dad
like
jokes.
me.
On
Yeah, that was
Survivor.
great. That was great.
Al
I'll go next.
G857, that's me.
That was great.
And all right.
All right, just finished. I've been talking about this game for weeks, but I just finished Jedi Fallen Order. I'm
Oh, you
start-
finally beat it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Ali got play. I've been on that. I know pain. I've been on that boss. For like,
I know pain.
I've been on that boss for like about. It's got to be like a month and a half. I've been on that boss, and I've been fighting her like every other day too. I was spoiler. It's a woman. It's a woman. It's a woman boss.
Okay.
Just-
Wow,
Thanks for
bro.
ruining that to
Well,
me.
great.
Wow,
Actually,
bro.
thanks for
I would-
ruining that game for
Yeah,
me.
There's,
I
thanks,
appreciate
man.
that.
there's several women in that game, so you never know who it is.
Anyways,
You never
All
know
right,
who
well.
it is.
All right, just stop talking about it then.
Anyway, now the boss is hard. I just fought her so many times and died to her so many times. I knew her every move. That's how I beat her. I knew what she was going to do, and it was a lot of pain.
Dope game though.
so it took you 2 months to learn the pattern?
Something like that. Yeah, I was playing other games too, but yeah, it's like month and a half. So it was just crazy.
Grind is real.
Takes so many beatings you learn after a while. So that was a great game. But I beat that game at the same time as Battlefront 2 was a free download on
Oh, really?
PSN Network, and I downloaded that shit. Blew out my whole entire hard drive because it's now close to the brim. It's like 100 something. And I've been addicted to that game for like the last 3 days. That game is
Wow.
awesome. That game is
Really?
awesome.
Wow.
See, and we covered that like a while ago when it first came
Yes.
out, like 2017 when they had all the
When nobody cared.
microtransactions.
no one cared.
Too many points to unlock the heroes. All the
fixed it all?
heroes, most of them at least, are unlocked.
Oh.
Everything is free. It was a free game, so I just downloaded it with the whatever PSN network subscription.
And you like it?
It's awesome.
It's good when you don't have to pay
It's-
for everything.
Yeah.
But the game feels like Dynasty Warriors with guns.
Oh gosh, really?
It's like if it just has that type of a.
Dynasty Wars with guns.
It's just like if you capture the bases. It's
I can
just.
see how that could be pretty fun.
You start out with your 4 classes of grunts. You get enough points, then Luke Skywalker comes in there and starts like
Skywalker.
Skywalker. Yeah.
What the hell is
No, because he's
Skywalker?
working all the
Skywalker's
enemies on the
cousin.
stage.
Well,
No,
the
but
last
it's
Skywalker happened, so it is a Skywalker, you said?
Skywalker. Seriously, man.
He helped
No,
build
because
it.
he's putting in work. He's putting in work every time you
build
pick
it.
him. No, but it's
And
like it's,
there's the drop.
the game. I like a well-made Star Wars game, and that game is like the production value in that game, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and even the campaign, flying the ships, the game is awesome.
I ain't
Yeah.
downloaded. I saw it, I was like, nah.
And you can play it in third person. I thought it was mostly a first-person game. You can play it in third person. Yeah.
Okay.
It's an awesome game. Crazy,
Okay.
crazy. Just mostly those two. Mostly those.
This is not a 101 model, by the way.
Wow.
Just they wanted to know.
Hey man, $22 in the auction, man. I was like, I
Oh
have
yeah, 22 bucks, you can't go wrong.
It's
It's a
awesome.
great handheld.
With
One
the
of
game.
greatest of all time.
With the game.
That was the
But
Game Boy
I
Advance
guess-
SP.
Yeah, I can go into what I'm playing.
Cool.
So, I just beat, Last of Us 2. So, I'm done with the PlayStation 4 for a little bit right now.
Yeah.
So I was diving back into my PlayStation 2 because I had the hard drive and I wanted to try the hard drive hack, and I did not. I wasn't successful with that. I could not get the hard drive to boot up without the memory card, and I had the memory card, so it's not a big deal. But I spent like 2 days just putting an image on the hard drive. That didn't work. And I killed the hard drive and tossed that in the trash.
You know what?
It was annoying. But, I finally got it to work normally with an old IDE hard drive. The Saturn ones, I just said, forget it.
Wait, with the memory card?
The memory card's always been working, yeah. I just wanted to get
so
the
you
hard
got it
drive
working
thing.
now. Oh, okay. I
But,
gotcha.
I was like, all right, fine. I'll play some games on here now since I wasted my whole day trying to get this thing working.
That sucks.
So I was playing NBA Street 2. And I was like, you know what? I really like this game. And EA Big in general, at that time, they had a lot of fun games. And I missed that. But, I was like, how come NBA Jam gets all the hype? I mean, obviously they didn't originate it either because Arch Rivals did.
Arch Rivals is what
but,
they need.
But NBA Street, I was like, this should get more clout. No one talks about this game. Maybe because 3 wasn't.
NBA Street.
Yeah, NBA Street 2 was there.
Is that with Jordan?
He wasn't in. He might be unlockable.
Is he the one who was like, I'll get it back?
Yeah, I think that's when
I'll
you can
get it
unlock
back.
him in that one.
Oh, okay.
But I was having fun with it. And then, of course, Burnout, Takedown, Burnout 3.
Awesome.
I was playing that, and I was like, I really want this again. Because, we have Revenge for the Xbox.
Revenge is for the Xbox 360.
It's backwards compatible, but we still don't have Burnout 3. And I was like, I still like this one better. And it's not, I can only play it on there.
It feels like that's the fastest version
Yeah,
of
man.
Burnout.
Yeah.
Like that's like the
Yeah.
best.
By far.
Man.
And I missed that game. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care what they're doing. Need for Speed. Like,
Change-
I don't want to play Need for Speed even if
You
it's
know
made
what?
by them.
They should just create new music because I know it's a licensing thing with the.
Just take it out.
Just take it out and
put
just make your
different
own
music in.
tracks. Put it in.
They did it for the first 2. Just do it again. But I still miss that series. And
Yeah.
if that's the only reason I have a PlayStation 2, obviously it's more
Right.
play on there.
Oh, dude,
But,
tons.
if that's the only thing I have on it, I'll have a PlayStation 2 to just play that.
Yeah,
That's it.
man.
But you can't play that off the hard drive, by the way.
Great,
played
that's
that on
good
it.
because I bought the same thing, the connector for my PS2 to see if I can run it off the hard drive. I remember showing you
Did you attempt it?
I haven't attempted it yet.
You're lucky.
No,
I can
but,
still see there's no bags under your eyes or anything.
well, I was actually planning on filming it and then putting it up on the channel. But
Sure.
then
In
everybody's
4K,
see the
it's not
frustration.
gonna run out.
In real
It's-
time, they'll see the frustration. They're like,
You don't have the battery life.
I can't get this working. I can't
Not
get
gonna
this
happen.
working.
If you do it and you get on the first try, I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm just have to buy a new hard drive anyway. But
Well, I
I'm
haven't-
done.
I
I'm
have
done testing that.
I have a hard drive I haven't used yet, so
Yeah. So when you
Shit,
figure it
well.
out, and I'll be like, okay, what'd you do? I just hit the button here and it just worked. Watch, guaranteed, that's what you're gonna do.
I hope I have luck. I hope I have luck.
But yeah, so that was a fun experiment. And then I was like, I'm just gonna use the emulator on the computer because you can get the right resolution on your TV and all that. So I was like, yeah, you probably just use your emulator. Just forget about the hard drive.
Yeah.
And then you got to get something to boost the frame rate because it looks dark as hell on your new TVs unless
Right.
you have an old TV.
Right.
So that's when I'll do it. When I hook it up to the old TV. Other than that, don't mess with a PS2 if you're gonna hook it up to your flat screen. That's that's
there's
my
always that-
knowledge to you this week.
There's always that debate though, original hardware or emulation.
it's not worth it, man.
What's
And
I
then you
don't
gotta
know, man.
buy $1,000 thing to boost it.
Well, yeah, that's
it's
it's
a lot of
expensive,
money.
man. It
But
could
what
get,
are you playing?
it could get up.
That's
there.
what I played. That's
That's
it. That's all.
So you haven't played any of the games that I suggested? Still. You keep dodging
I'm
those 2
watching
games.
you.
You keep
I'm
dodging.
watching you.
keep dodging those games.
We're gonna transition to what you're playing.
Katana Zero
well,
and Astral Chain.
We're
I keep
transitioning
telling
to
y'all.
what you're playing
right.
because
Well,
I'm
no, before
we
watching.
transition-
No, but
on
Sticks, congratulations on being the first of us to beat Last of Us.
Kev,
Oh,
Kev,
God,
wait, dude, come on,
Speaking
man.
of The Last of Us, I hate that segue, by the way.
He was waiting.
Wait. Don't say anything
anything.
about Last of Us whatsoever. I am playing it.
No, Matt Wheaton in the chat said F Last of Us 2.
Well,
Oh, okay,
Well,
that's
that's
fine.
fine.
Just don't say
That's
nothing
fine.
else.
Yeah, don't say don't say that because I just
Because people who haven't played it have stuff to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
But when you play it,
Yeah.
another thing completely.
All right.
That's as far as we're going on that.
I recently finished Red Dead 2 after like 5 years. No, I stopped playing every single game, and I was just like, I'm not gonna finish Red Dead 2 until I stop playing Smash Bros. I had to stop playing everything. I'm just gonna go straight through. I give that game a 10. There's no other. I didn't do any side missions or anything like that. The game's a 10.
How many hours?
Huh?
How many hours?
They don't have them listed, but I think I
they
did
don't.
probably somewhere in the high 60s. I think. I don't think I hit the 90s or anything like that.
I hit the 90s.
Whoa.
It's because I'm nasty, man. No, it's an awesome game. It's a great story. And the messed up thing is, I always forget about because I played Red Dead Redemption a while back, and I forget the story in Red Dead Redemption. And then I was looking up some videos on Red Dead Redemption 1, and I'm like, oh, this shit is easily like related, like, because you wonder what happens to people and shit like that, and like you go to Red Dead 1, it's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna play Red Dead 1 again. But it was such a great game, amazing game, great voice
Slow
acting,
paced,
awesome physics when you blow off someone's head with a shotgun. Like it's
Really?
it's awesome. That's great.
Wow.
I recorded Stick saw 2 videos that I recorded with the PlayStation. It was hysterical.
Lost their head.
Yeah, it was hysterical. Just started Last of Us 2. I got 5 hours into the game.
5.5.
Yeah, just like around there. Awesome. Can't play Red Dead 2 and jump right into that though, because your timing with the shooting and everything is fucked up. It really takes a minute, and they can hear you and they could see you so easily in this fucking
You
game.
just ain't sneaky.
And I died so many times already. But it's an awesome game. It's so dope. I look forward to beating the game so I could actually give an opinion like everybody else is about Last of Us 2. You have people who are like, oh, it's a 10, and then there's some people like, oh, I fucking hate this story. So I want to finish it so I can form my own opinion about it. Also, just got back into Smash Brothers Ultimate. Started playing online again after taking 2 weeks off, and
It
Oh,
shows.
2 weeks. Whoa.
yeah, 2 weeks I took off. Yeah, I had to take 2 weeks. Some of my characters, for some reason, my Lucina is still doing good. She's still in the 6s, but my Marth took a terrible dip, like a foul beatings, really foul beatings, and I'm like, I'm losing to people that I should never even, like, what the hell is wrong with me? Like.
Yeah, I hear that.
My Ike is like half and half. I fought like maybe 3 Min-Mins, murdered them. I lost to 1 Min-Min, but I destroyed like a bunch of other ones. But for the most part, I didn't drop off that much besides my Marth. So I'll probably get back into more Smash Brothers with more time with that, so I don't lose to these people online. Because some of these people, I swear to God,
Let's give it a day.
I think it's the update. They updated Smash Brothers.
They gotta stop messing with that game.
Yeah, they some people are. I think you saw me get slaughtered by King K. Rool, who just
All the big characters.
yeah.
are
I'm like, what the fuck is
Crazy.
going on? They
They're
walked through all
super
my
fast.
hits and just murdered me in 2 hits. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Something with the balance of the.
But yeah, I'll get back into it. I'm not worried about that shit.
And what about I want to know what do you have to say about Huntdown?
Huntdown's awesome. Great game. Great nostalgic old school shooter. I wish Konami would take hints and learn how to use Contra instead of taking a dump on it all the time. You know, same thing with what was that? That Blazing Chrome was an awesome Contra,
That was awesome.
and you know, then Konami came out with that. Was that Rogue Corps? And like, here you go. And that shit didn't even go down to $2. It needs to go down to $2. That game is so fucking trashy.
What's what?
No, it needs to go down to $2.
Rogue Corps?
Rogue Corps. Is it Rogue Corps? The new Contra
Yes,
game, the
yes.
3D one.
Oh yeah.
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 They said I think it was like a discount. They were like, oh, it's $39.99. I'm like, that's way too
That's a
expensive.
discount.
That's too expensive. But that's all I'm playing.
Oh man, Contra.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Poor Contra, right? Let's get on with that news, y'all.
Yeah, I think that's everybody, man.
Let's get on with that
Right.
news.
We have the
Get
news
on
theme.
it.
Should I?
Do the news theme. No, we don't have a theme.
We don't have that.
We don't have a
There's
theme.
no deep.
I know I was just messing.
I just messing.
At some point.
We'll get news. All right, Kev, we're done. We're done.
Yeah.
We're
Done.
done. We're done.
All right. On with the news.
Yeah.
Xbox Series X first party games showcase coming on July 23rd. All right. Who's excited?
That guy, he's
I know
excited.
Charles
He's
excited.
We know.
extremely
Charles
excited.
excited.
The
yeah.
achievement has been unlocked, as your shirt says.
Yes, it does.
I'm curious, man. I'm curious about it.
So, I mean, we've been waiting,
I want it to do good. I really do want it to do
curious.
good because they've been,
well, especially after their, debacle that they had before the PlayStation announcement.
Right.
Now's their chance to actually
Show shit.
people what they've
Yeah.
been working on, Microsoft in general.
Yeah.
Because that was just the showcase on, you guys are dying to know what's happening with some stuff. Let's show them some stuff.
Yeah.
And that was not really focused
Anything.
on anything, really.
Right.
But, so this is the thing about Microsoft. Like, their problem is with franchises and exclusives, first party exclusives. And the main thing about them, I mean, they have their titles. Some people are speculating that, like, a Fable and obviously Forza.
Perfect
and
Dark.
Perfect Dark is rumored. And then obviously Halo also, they'll show, they said. Those are the titles out of how many titles that they've made? Like, they made an abundance of titles in the, like, just for Xbox way back in the classic Xbox days.
Yeah.
But the thing about none of those, like, all those games don't have character. They don't have a like I was looking at the title. I was like, oh, blood wake and all this stuff. I was like,
Cameo?
oh, that boat. Like, there's no character that they can bank off of.
No.
Like
just
Nintendo,
got
you could say I could make a Nintendo world full of the characters in each of those games.
They could just shit out Zeldas
No,
or
I'm just saying,
Metroids.
though,
Yeah,
but you know who is in the
exactly.
game.
All else fails, they could shit out a bunch of franchises, but Xbox is like,
But you know Samus, you know Link, you
Exactly,
know
yep,
Mario.
mhm.
You don't have to say it's a Zelda title.
Yep.
Now, if I said, do you know who?
Arguably, it would be Master Chief.
Obviously, Master Chief, but that's it. That's the only character, and he's not even a character.
And then Marcus Phoenix. But he's not even the main character.
No.
So it's like,
They don't bank off.
Come on.
They don't bank off characters on their games.
No.
This is what I'm saying. Like, you can't come out with Cameo and be like, oh,
No, there's no
you remember this
mascot.
girl? I don't know her name. Like, is her name Cameo? I don't even
That's
know.
true.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, it's like
You can't come out with Blinks. I mean, they've tried, but they're not successful at bringing out these characters that are long lasting.
No, they're not.
You can't come out with a shirt full of.
That's why they should
It's like you look at Kratos and you think Sony.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but
You
you
look
can't
at
come out with
Mario,
an
you
Xbox
think
shirt with
Nintendo.
characters on it and say, "Oh, those are the Xbox games."
They should have bought Sega, man. They should have bought out Sega.
Well,
All those over.
That'd be
With
big.
the titles that they did, I mean, with the licenses they can use, I still don't see any characters they can bank off of. Even in like Sony with Heavenly Sword, you still knew the girl with the red hair. Like if you
Yeah.
saw that character, you'd be like, "That's a Sony character."
Mhm.
But they can't do it with Xbox, so that's what they need or needed to work on. So even though they bought all of these companies, this is their chance to show us, okay, we have some cool looking characters.
It's very important.
And this is who this is. Tell us who these people are while showing us the game. And that's what you need to do this generation. So showcase that.
Well, they got over 60 games to showcase.
and they're all first
with,
party.
with playable demos. So that's pretty crazy, man.
Better show us what Rare's been working on.
I
You better
hope-
show us
I
what
mean, that's a lot.
Obsidian's been
That's a
working
lot.
on. You better show us what all these companies
That's a lot.
have.
Yeah.
They might buy Warner Brothers, so maybe we'll have Batman as a character exclusively.
no.
We'll see.
Possible.
It's possible.
You never know.
You don't want it to happen, but
Of course,
it's possible.
no,
It's
it needs to.
possibility.
Listen,
No,
they
it needs
need
it.
to.
Competition's always good, man. It's good for the industry.
But what you don't want, you don't want it to be like like in the record industry, how they the
Well, listen,
label. The
I don't
label
think-
buys,
I don't think they would get
the
the rights to do
they
Batman
showed it.
alone. No, I don't think they would get the rights to do Batman
Right.
like as Batman. They would have the rights to do like in that merger. If they did that, it would be like I got it for Mortal Kombat. That's the biggest thing they'll get.
a timed exclusive.
No, that's the biggest thing they'll get out of that.
You think so? You don't think it'll be?
No,
think it'll
they
be a
do.
timed
Because you
exclusive
can
then?
still come out with Batman, the comic book series. Like that's other companies
Yeah.
can still come out with stuff
Right.
like that, even if it's the Warner Bros. But that didn't happen yet. They need to make that happen. Those are the things that they need to do.
Well, it makes sense to do a timed exclusive for,
But it doesn't matter if you
If
don't
you're
have
making it,
Dino
if
Crisis.
yeah. Dino Crisis.
But yeah, Dino Crisis 3. We see how that went.
Oh, God.
But that was an
God, that was
exclusive.
bad.
That was an exclusive. But yeah.
Yeah, that was terrible.
But as far as these first-party games are concerned, are any of these due to be launched? They're going to be launched with
You're
the
gonna
launch.
find out on the show.
well, yeah.
Earlier they said
It's in the
before we're
showcase.
not going to have any first parties launching with the system. That was
Yeah, but
They're gonna have
to
they're gonna have
show something.
the first.
They're gonna
time.
have Crackdown 4.
Listen, if you
Yeah,
think,
don't hate on Crackdown 4. Right?
if you
with
think
The
any of
Rock.
this stuff, if you
The
think
Rock.
any of this stuff is gonna be launched, then you got something to tell you.
Yeah.
It's probably not. But they're just telling you that we bought these companies 2 or 3 years ago. They've been working, and this is what we have to show you. Now, whether that's gonna bring new things for us to see, or it's gonna be okay. This is a sequel to something, so it's a character that we know. We've all been saying it has to be Perfect Dark because it's a character that we would know if we saw it, or it's got to be like it has to be something we're familiar with. Otherwise, people won't care. If they show a new title,
Right.
they're gonna be like, I don't know if that's gonna be
A lot
good.
of-
Well,
Fable.
unless
A lot of
unless
Fable
they're
talk.
unless they're wowed by the what they're seeing.
Yeah, but nobody,
I mean-
never. And you can show the best looking game. Like you saw it on the PlayStation when they showed a new game that looked phenomenal. They're like, I don't care. I don't know who that is.
I
They
don't
have
know,
to
man.
prove themselves. Doesn't matter what it looks like. They got to prove themselves.
Well,
But-
in the eShop, we watch.
But I'm saying they have to.
Sometimes we're
You
like
have to care.
won over by a trailer.
It's tough.
But what do you guys think, Diego? What do you think, man?
I don't know, man. It seems tough. I guess I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring out, but I also I don't know. Do I care about Fable anymore?
Can you tell us the
Yeah.
main
I
character?
want some new ideas. They don't need to revisit the well. I think the reason why PlayStation has had such a good run is because they've surprised people with Bloodborne
Right.
or Horizon Zero
Yeah.
Dawn. I mean, the juicy exclusives that really made them a serious property. Xbox, not really surprising or inspiring anybody because it's a lot of the same themes, it's a lot of the same look, the same style. They're playing it a little safe and have been.
Status quo.
They
But
could
I
bring
guess-
back Fusion Frenzy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, try it, go for it.
They need a party game.
They do.
But I want to be surprised, and I think in video games and in gaming in general, whether you're an indie or a big AAA, I think people still appreciate surprise and something genuinely unexpected.
Yeah.
The I think risk aversion is, for people who are counting the beans. I get it, but I think there's another side of that. If you're too risk averse, then you become boring and stale and uninspiring. So I think you still need, as a developer, as a big company like Microsoft or Sony, to also trust creators to come with that unexpected angle too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, a good example is Scalebound. Remember that? For Microsoft.
Didn't happen.
They dropped the ball with that one, though.
They scaled that back.
Oh, dear God.
So
Puns.
this is the thing. I'm ignoring that. So this is the thing.
Bad.
So regardless of what they announced at this showcase, we're all anticipating it.
Mhm.
They need to focus on the characters with these games because they had what was it? The pirate game.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. So they had Sea of Thieves. Can you name a character from Sea of Thieves?
Well, most of the things that they showed
No,
recently,
listen, can you name a
of
character
course
from
not.
Sea of
But they have
Thieves?
so many first
Johnny Depp.
persons that you can't even see anything.
Oh, exactly.
That's
But
they can't
with your
showcase.
game,
Yeah,
your zombie game,
State of Decay.
State of Decay. Can you name a character from State
No,
of Decay?
there wasn't that
They're
kind
not
of. Yeah,
based on it.
they're not based on story
That's
characters.
the problem
yeah,
with Xbox. They're
If they-
not based on characters.
No,
Knack.
Knack.
That's
outta
PlayStation.
I'm sorry, cameo.
No, but if they're introducing a lot of new IPs, a lot of different games or whatever, you gotta have character design is very important, and it has to have something in the trailer that grips people. Like, oh, that's a cool looking character, and they can do what? What's this about? Is this a platformer? Is this? Oh, that's fun. That looks dope. They have to. It's almost like they're starting from ground zero because like
They are.
Cosmo was saying is. Yeah, I'm a Fable guy, but it's like, who cares about Fable though?
Name the main character from Fable.
Yeah, it's like there's no main character, but who cares? If they made it like Red Dead 2, that would be smart, and I think that's enough detail in the game where it would be awesome. But that's Fable and Perfect Dark aren't enough
At
to
least
get
you have
everyone in
Jonah.
an uproar.
At least you have Jonah Dark.
Well-
At least you have a character there.
You need these new IPs to get people like, this is fucking dope. Like,
But
oh my god, what are these new ideas? You
I
know?
think-
They need to roll the dice.
I think
And
I think a good example of this working is when they announced Death Stranding. And I know a lot of people you already sort of had a built-in faith in Kojima, but it's a brand new IP. Nobody even knew what the game played like or what it was about, but they remember Norman Reedus or his visage, his likeness, his digitized likeness, and they remember this baby and just that it was Kojima. I mean, people didn't know what to make of it, but that was part of the selling point. The part of the people talked about it because it was presented in a very slick way, but you also had this actor who people recognized as well. They led with, you're talking about character. They led with the character. That was the anchor of that whole concept. It was Kojima, the creator, but then it was this actor everybody recognized. So I think that was a very shrewd move in introducing a new IP and taking a risk that's also a smart risk.
It's
But-
exactly like Hollywood.
But it can also backfire, just like Crackdown 3.
Well,
what are you
They
talking
took-
about?
They took
that wasn't a
they took-
character.
Terry Crews is golden.
That's the wrong way to execute
talking
shit.
about?
That's
I mean,
the
that's
wrong way to
yeah,
execute.
Terry Crews is Hail Caesar. You remember from the Expendables? Just like the game, it's expendable.
It's just like,
So what we're
it's just
saying, you
like-
got to have
No,
Chuck
but-
Norris flagship one of your games.
Yo,
for that.
that would be fun. Yo, I
Put Chuck
tell you
Norris
right
in
now.
porn
Chuck
and you're
Norris.
done.
It's just like Hollywood.
I would buy a Chuck Norris game. Right
But listen,
Doesn't matter what it is. It could
if
be-
they made a Chuck Norris game based on that cartoon, I'd buy it right now.
you can be the only one.
Didn't he have a cartoon?
Yes.
Yes,
the
he just
cartoon
said
is-
that.
just said
He
that.
just said that, man.
I'm a little buzzed, man. I'm a little
Jesus.
So to
Fucking
end,
horrible, that
this,
cartoon.
to end this, it's just like Hollywood when they're doing an animated feature,
Amazing.
and they have to get a known voice or a star to play the voice because people aren't going to accept something new without something familiar or something that they can bank on being that this is going to be good.
Not unless it
And-
blows your mind.
Well,
Which is
not
gonna
even.
be, yeah,
Still, they
yeah,
still
it's
have
still
to-
an uphill battle if you don't know
The
what the hell you're looking
the
at.
game has
Yeah.
to be good. All right, just like in a movie, a script has to be good.
No, I know, but they
Because
still bank
like-
on a name more than they bank on a character and a name to
Yeah.
something that you would know if it's a new franchise.
Because it's gotta get
Yeah.
the eyes. It's gotta get the eyes on it. and,
or your
you know,
character design has to be that charismatic.
Oh, listen,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm very curious to know what's going on.
I hope they do good,
have,
man.
They have 60 playable demos, not just trailers.
They
These
just
are
gotta
demos,
stop
these are playable
focusing.
demos.
Microsoft could just make this good. I can't take this anymore. just make it good, please.
Just
Please.
stop focusing on us
I
being
can't
the character.
argue with Master Chief and Marcus Phoenix anymore. I can't. I don't have enough ammo. Give me something. Give me something.
But yeah,
Oh, dude.
focus on character, not us being that character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. That's our advice to
Yeah,
Xbox.
man.
I have faith.
I hope you guys do it, man.
I keep my
hope
fingers
Microsoft
crossed.
does
I'll
it.
keep my fingers crossed. that
But
they
stay
do good.
tuned. We're gonna have a reaction.
Yeah,
for it.
we'll definitely have a reaction. Oh, there'll be a reaction.
Oh, yes.
I'm here for the ride.
Moving on.
Next piece of news.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sega. Get your phone ready. What's going on?
on to the next news. Relax while we
Sorry.
start the next news.
sorry.
So Sega announces a miniature arcade cabinet with 36 games included. So this is part of Sega's 60th anniversary celebration still. You know, with their highly successful debut of the mini Game Gear.
Let's not say that.
What? It's not highly successful?
No, it's not.
We got everybody talking.
Not
We
anymore.
got, it got
That was a
everybody
big
talking.
announcement. Wasn't it as big as the PS5 reveal?
So people know Sega. Like I said, the biggest, the biggest people know Sega about, other than Genesis. Sega still thinks Genesis is still the best thing they've ever done. But
Probably was.
the most success that they've had is in the arcade industry, and you can't take that away from them.
No, not at all.
And they've announced an arcade miniature cabinet, and it's called the Astro City Mini, and it fits in your hand. It's a form factor. It looks like an arcade, a mini arcade.
Japanese
6
arcade.
buttons, 6 buttons and
Table.
a joypad on a screen. I'm not a big fan of that form factor. I mean, it's cool that you can play it on the go. Well, not on the go because you have to have it plugged in. Yeah, I mean, but through USB, so it's still possible to have a battery. But still, you have to have it on something to play. It's not like it's a portable little system.
Yeah.
It would have been cool if it was a portable system that you could play those on.
Battery.
Plus, you can put a HDMI on it to hook up to a TV
Right.
and play it that way. And you can hook 2 other controllers up to it to play multiplayer games. So, I mean, it looks very similar if you've seen the Neo Geo
Yep.
arcade
It looks like
that they had, the Neo Geo Mini. So like I said, it's a little bit bigger than that at least. So it's not going to just flop around when you're playing. I mean, we'll see how that handles movement while you're playing.
Yeah.
But I can't expect it to be like super heavy while you're doing it. So I don't know.
Well,
I don't know about that.
Sega's been out of the console game for a long time, man.
Yeah, but they
I
want
don't
to
know
throw a
if
screen on. At least it's not a 1-inch screen. At
But
least
they-
it's not.
Yeah,
But they are-
That's a
hook it
huge.
up
It's a
to
huge.
TV.
If
Yeah.
they announced this instead of the Game Gear Micro,
Yeah.
it would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
I think it would have had a
The
better
Micro is
reception.
just a waste of time for everybody.
So what you can expect from it though? They haven't announced all the games for it. They've announced 10 so far. And
It's like
that's-
36, right? I think?
Yep.
Wow.
But that's Alien Syndrome, Alien Storm, Altered Beast, Columns 2, Dark Edge. I don't know what Dark Edge is. Fantasy Zone, Golden Axe, Revenge of Death Adder for the first time, and Tant-R and Virtual Fighter. I don't know what Tant-R is either. But this is
Tant-R.
only for release in Japan so far, so some of these titles aren't stuff that we know from that.
Interesting.
But like I said, it's nice to be able to play an official version of Golden Axe Revenge of Death Adder because that is a great
The
game.
fact that
Oh,
that's even like playable, that I always thought was the Golden Axe that everyone forgot about.
It's a forgotten
and
franchise.
it's
Yeah,
awesome. It's such an
Yeah.
awesome game. I love Golden Axe,
definitely
Death
forgotten.
Adder. But it's funny whenever Sega, has been doing stuff like this. I don't know if it's the false hope in me that I try to read through the lines like, why are they picking these games on these little mini consoles? Why are they choosing these games more than anything? Are they like trying to get people more familiar with these IPs again so they can plan something in the future? Hopefully, they have so many that I'm just dying
False
to
hope.
appear. Yeah,
False
yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's
fall for it every-
it's probably
you
mostly
fall
false.
for it every
It's
time.
probably mostly false hope.
You
But
fall for it.
but as a
But you're
diehard
Yeah.
Sega fan,
Yeah.
I hope that they can introduce these old IPs to people, kind of like how they out of nowhere remade Alex Kidd, and you're a huge fan of Alex Kidd. So I can't say 100% that it's false hope because you would have never expected new.
But I wasn't
Alex
part
Kidd.
of any mini system.
No,
But,
I'm just
of
saying.
course.
Like I'm just saying. Like
There's always people out there with fans.
because
every-
they added him in a racing game. And it's
Yeah,
like,
they did
oh, why
it,
would
yeah.
they add Alex Kidd in a racing game? No one even knows who he is, and then bam, out of nowhere they have a freaking remake.
I
You know?
just feel like for every good thing, there's always like it's followed up by like something bad.
Well, you
Like,
can't say nothing bad about Sega's arcade presence.
No,
So
no.
this
This
the
is a good
36
thing.
titles in there are gonna be awesome titles.
Everyone
But the
seems
Game
excited
Gear-
about it. It's
Game
not for
Gear-
me, but I mean, it's cool.
They
Game
got to
Gear
put
Mini is
virtual
bad.
on that.
What?
Virtual
gotta
on
put
should come
virtual
back.
on.
Yeah, the
It might
virtual
make it
stuff.
on
Virtual
there.
on.
I don't
It
know.
might be
Uh,
on there.
I would love
You know
to
why
see-
it wouldn't probably? Well,
Oh man,
It
I would
should.
play virtual.
Yeah,
on.
virtual on was
It
dope.
should be
First
on
one
there.
was good.
I was gonna say because there's no analog stick, but it'll be better with one. But I don't think there was one when it came out for
No,
the
it
home
was a twin.
systems.
Nah, there wasn't. There wasn't an analog stick when it came out.
That's possible.
I surprisingly liked that game for some
Yeah,
reason.
me too.
It was. I didn't think I would enjoy it.
I
but
was so surprised that you
I
liked that
did.
game.
I did like it a lot. It
You
was
know,
fun.
Daytona will be on here.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
You know, probably Virtual Racing will be on here. I want Virtual Cop though.
Me too.
Oh, that's what
Oh,
Virtual
don't
Cop
get
is
me
fun.
started.
How you gonna play virtual cop on that little
Don't
ass
get me
thing?
started
How you
on-
gonna play? We gonna
Like shoot the whole
you
screen.
show me the gun you're gonna use for virtual
Dude,
gun. This
man.
Yo,
little ass
imagine if they
screen.
gave you a
Touchscreen.
tiny gun.
Touchscreen. No,
They give you a little tiny ass gun. Like
no. Stop it.
fuck out.
Stop.
Get the fuck out of here.
I would buy it
Stop,
then.
stop.
Yeah.
But no, so pre-orders are available now, only in Japan. Like I said,
What's the price?
it's 12,800 yen, which is about 120, 118 of American money. But they have the controller, which is also like $26. With the controller looks funny. It looks cool because it's 6-button and it's a pad, so that's kind of cool. I kind of want to play with that. But the buttons look like Spree, like the candy Spree. The buttons are big on there. They're big round buttons on there. So
It does look
I would-
delicious.
I would like to play. Yeah, it looks delicious. That's what I got out of that. It
looks delicious, man.
Neon buttons, not delicious. So yeah, I wanted to play it. I want to see what it's like, but I doubt I'll ever get to see it over here unless it's like at a an import shop. Or
If
something.
anything, I don't think it's a negative thing.
No, it's
I think
definitely
the
good.
Game Gear Micro to me was negative because no, look at the size
No
of
one
our
cared.
fucking hands. Who's using it? A toddler.
A 1-inch screen.
A toddler's using it.
Yeah.
No one's using it. So,
It's cool. I mean, it's cool that you can play it on there.
Yeah.
But I would have preferred if it was just a little box and you could put it on TV. But you can put it on TV, but it just looks ugly if you put it near the TV. With the
I would like to see it though. I'd like to see
Saturn Mini.
Yes, Saturn.
hey, I mean, it's close. That's what they only have so many releases they can
Dreamcast
do.
Mini,
Before
Saturn.
they can get to those, they only have so many. They can
That's
do.
true. That's true.
So,
So yeah.
what do you guys think of Sega in general and these arcades coming out?
I'd buy a Dreamcast any size.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't usually buy this kind of thing, but I love Collins too. I love Golden Axe. I never played Revenge of Death Adder.
Oh, it's
Oh,
so good.
Mike,
So
you missed
good.
out.
I love Revenge of Death Rider's
It's
amazing.
so
It was
good.
an amazing kind of arcade. Man, I'm surprised more people don't know it.
Yeah.
It was really when I was going to the arcades in my childhood, and they had Death Adder.
Oof.
That was that was always the game. There was always a few games that if the arcade had that game, that was the people would like gather around. And obviously Street Fighter was one of those games. There are a few others. I think some of the shooting games were that for a while, but or the X-Men game. I don't know if you
Yep.
remember that.
Hell
game.
yeah.
I
Hell
still have that on
That
360.
That was like the
Hell
game
yeah.
because you could play
That was
like
good.
you could play 8 or 6. So Golden Axe, you could play I think 3 or 4, and it was this amazing beat 'em up side scroller, sort of in the Streets of Rage vein.
I played a lot of Golden Axe too. I never played the arcade versions.
The arcade versions were always just a little, it was arcades, right? They could do more than Sega, like consoles. They could show more stuff. They were loud. You heard that music and that sound like coming out of the cabinet. It was so great. It was so thrilling. But then, you'd have a hole in your pocket where all these quarters were. and that was that.
But $5
It
can do a lot.
definitely got you.
$5 can do a
But it
lot.
was fun, and that game in particular had a lot of style, and it felt really.
It was
good.
awesome. It was
So-
a great sequel. The funny thing is, the first time I played that wasn't even in an arcade because it didn't have it in the
The
arcade.
first place
we went to.
everybody played it was
It-
MAME.
No, the first place I played it was at ShopRite.
Oh, really?
At fucking ShopRite. There was 2 arcades. It was fucking ShopRite. So I would always see this arcade when my mom would go to ShopRite. And we'd be on the way out. I'm like, what? What is this? Why is this here? I'm like, I gotta play this shit. Are you kidding me? And I would never see that ever not at Timeout in Massapequa. I would never see that anywhere, and I would only see it at ShopRite. Bullshit. Complete bullshit.
ShopRite of all places.
Yeah.
No arcade had it.
They had a burger chain where I'm from called Duchess, and it was a pretty, it was kind of like a Burger King or McDonald's style spot, but they had Mortal Kombat 2 at the Duchess, like right out prominent. So, and that, this was during the era where it was like kind of like people were like, that's kind of violent and that's kind of over the top, and like people are getting decapitated, but it was just right there. So you'd have these families and with younger kids like having their burger or having their fries or having their milkshake, and then you'd hear like fatality in a fast food restaurant, and I feel like you don't really get that anymore. I mean, it was like a TV, right? It was like arcades were like these TVs that were like turned way up, so it like always flooded the room.
That's the sound. It's the sound they had with them that would just have you drawn to them, and of course the crowds that would be around the arcades. Like, always be like, and it would be like it's almost like a movie experience too. Like it's the movies and the arcade. Vice versa. It's always was hand in hand with those two.
Those are always great experiences. I remember many a time getting my ass kicked in the arcade and like trying to turn around and leave, but there was a crowd behind me watching me get trashed.
Yeah, it's
so
like,
just like,
oh man, I gotta walk through all your.
I gotta walk through this.
The walk of shame, man.
Perfect me.
Walk of
It had to
shame.
be good, man. Can't let that 5-year-old kick that ass.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, there
guy
were
with the-
times where I handed out beatings. Of
The
course.
guy with the
When
bucket.
people were doing fatalities like the day after it came out, I'm like, no,
And, like,
there
how
was
do you
no
know
internet.
this?
How do you know this?
Yeah, internet doesn't exist yet.
Nope.
What the heck?
Did you talk to the developers?
Samurai, what's up?
Oh, man.
What up, Saramaru?
What up?
What's good, brother?
But yeah, that's that. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the Sega stuff. I mean, anything Sega announces that's actually in relevance to good games, I'm all for it.
Well, since their bad announcement of the Game Gear, it's been Alex Kidd and this, so hopefully it's going up.
I want to see what else they put on there. I mean, like I said, they only heard 10 out of 36. So.
Yeah, so that's more.
I hope
I'm
they
virtual on 3.
And then maybe they'll announce it for America. Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows?
and put some of these games, the Sega Ages versions, on the Switch.
All right, next
Get that going.
next news.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla looks like it won't innovate all that much on the Assassin's Creed formula.
Holla.
Damn.
Well, I mean, all right, so they announced Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
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 Let me holla at you.
I'm just kidding.
So there was a leak, a half an hour leak of the title, unfinished leak, not polished, and people had stuff to say about it because it's the internet.
Right.
So, obviously when somebody sees it, they're like, this is not finished. This is ugly. This is blah, blah, blah. Yes, it's not finished. It's ugly, and it's blah, blah, blah. So what do you expect it to look
Is
like?
this news?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It seems weird for me to like see all these people complaining about a game that like nobody knows when it was made. It may not be at like full render capacity. It's probably like half previs or like placeholder graphics. I don't know. It seems so overblown.
Well, people are overblowing it completely because they're like, "Oh, this doesn't look like PlayStation 5. This doesn't look like next generation." I was like, first of all, it's coming out for the current generation,
Right.
and this build is damn sure this generation. It's not the next generation title you're looking at.
Exactly.
Plus, people thought that, this looked exactly like how I thought it was going to look like. People their minds blown that this looks like the last Assassin's Creed game they came out with. I don't know what they were expecting. They're like, this looks like The Witcher 3. I was like, last I heard, Witcher 3 was an awesome game.
Yeah.
So why is it so bad now? But obviously, like, it didn't surprise me when I watched this
Same.
leak.
The outrage.
I was like, look at the fighting. It looks exactly like the last one I saw.
Man, listen.
And I'm not an Assassin's Creed guy.
When it comes to Assassin's Creed, it's like, as far as that leak is concerned, I had zero feelings about the leak. It's like, whatever, man. It's not done yet. I'm not going to say what it looks like this. I'm not a graphics whore. I don't care. But I'm more pissed off at the fact that it's not Assassin's Creed anymore.
No.
I mean, it's not being Assassin's Creed for the past 3 games.
And you knew that, though.
It's I knew that. It's been what? It's been 300. The game pretty much. Where are the hoods? I haven't seen a damn hood in the past 3 games. Like, come on. There's no assassinations. It's just gladiator type fighting. I want to jump through a window,
Yeah.
shoot an arrow in someone's neck, and jump out the window and run. They're like, that's assassin shit.
I read
You know?
I read a comment on the on one of the videos. He said like I miss, and it was on actually the leaked video footage, and he said I miss the days when Assassin's Creed was stealth, parkour, and assassinating Templars or the Templars. Just in
What
the
happened,
game.
what happened to the Templars?
Listen,
Like,
what
I don't know
happened
what
to
the,
that, man?
It's a far cry from.
Come on.
And
man.
not talking about Far Cry again. It's a far cry from the Prince of Persia ripoff that it used to be.
Yeah.
So this has nothing to do with any type of Prince of Persia I've ever seen. So this is probably
The anger isn't that it's not growing; it's that it's no longer the ripoff they wanted to be.
Exactly.
But their franchises.
yeah.
Exactly.
Amazing.
yeah. So I don't understand the hate, but I mean everything is hated now. So
That's what's popular now. Oh, what's this? Oh, I hate it.
as soon as people don't give a damn about people hating and just accept that people are gonna hate stuff, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Things will be back to
That's-
normal.
I think it happened with Syndicate. It leaked.
it's
I
the
think
mob.
footage leaked of that early.
Oh, Syndicate, really?
Syndicate
Yeah.
leaked early, and people were complaining about that too.
Yes.
And it's like, man, you ain't supposed to be seeing it right now.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
it's like even with like a glitch, like if you have one game that has like a glitch or whatever, like it's because of the internet or whatever, it's like amplified times a billion.
Yeah.
So it makes for anybody who doesn't know, they look at it and they think, oh, this game is broken,
Now they're
But
gonna
it's
rush.
probably just what?
They're gonna rush, and there's gonna be so many glitches now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then they're gonna
Well, that's
complain
what
about the
happened with,
glitches.
Then they're gonna release your
Assassin's
patch.
Creed
Yeah,
Unity.
yeah,
That's,
then
I
there
remember.
goes patch.
I remember reading reviews and stuff and watching videos. People were like complaining, so many glitches. So many.
Exactly.
I beat the game. I bought it. I beat it. And like I didn't experience not one glitch. They
But-
probably patched it, but
They probably patched
if I
it.
had
but
going
gone-
off that though,
and it's awesome.
Yeah.
going off that
Patched.
though,
Yeah.
why are people surprised at this
Right.
Assassin's Creed once again?
I don't know. I don't
Right.
get it. Like, when I bought the last couple of Assassin's Creeds, I was like, okay. After Odyssey, I was like, okay, yeah, it's not a lot of sneaking around anymore.
No Templars. No Templars. Not
no, and there were.
Okay, Eric, you said something about Templars. I
There
was
were.
like, please, I
Everybody
have to
listened,
kill
but-
Templars.
I did.
But I mean, they were more of a
But I didn't play it.
side quest kind of.
Really?
okay.
But it's still sold, and this is still gonna,
It's
this is still gonna sell,
Yeah.
regardless of how much hate this is getting. It's gonna
Sure.
sell. It's
Right,
Ubisoft.
right.
They'll
It
be
is.
fine. They're gonna make another one, and hopefully like 2 years instead of
And
the one.
another
What
one.
I'd like to see them do a remake of the Ezio story, or at least the first.
They did a
one.
remastered.
No, not remastered. A remake, like they did with Resident Evil
I'd
2.
rather have them
A
remake
reimagined.
part
Oh,
one.
remake.
Part-
Doesn't need a remake.
I would say
Yes.
part
Looks
one.
great.
I would say
No,
part.
no.
I would say part one would
remake.
fit that more because the playstyle was kind of
Because
like bland.
I
but-
think
don't need
they
'em.
definitely lost sight on what originally started the franchise.
They have a new vision.
They definitely saw I think the problem was the yearly releases. You know,
well, this
just
is a
like Call of
19
Duty.
title, so
Yeah, well,
obviously they're not gonna do the same title over and over and over and
you
over.
know,
Yeah.
you gotta take your time, just like the Resident Evil 2. Take
We'll
your
see.
time and look what you can do. You know,
I'm
use your
curious to
imagination.
see how the new version is going to look for the newer systems, to see if they do polish anything up or if it does look better. But I'm still not
That-
anticipating it to be that much of a leap in innovation
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
until they
Neither am I.
maybe the response to this will get them to say, hey, maybe we should take a step back.
If they said, "Hey, let's change it up and go back to the roots," I'd be like, "Hey, there we go.
That's
now
a-
someone's
that's a
listening.
step.
Now
Yeah.
someone's listening.
Step
All
in
right,
the right
great."
direction.
Smoke
man.
bombs.
Yeah,
we'll
but-
see.
yeah.
We will see.
What do you
Diego
guys
Cosmo,
think?
what do you guys think?
I'm gonna say that you get 600 people working on a game like that, and it's not gonna have the same vision that it probably did when it was even a relatively smaller AAA team early in its life. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's going through a bit of an identity figuring out situation. Like the last game seemed like it was really successful for them, and it's like, what do they? I think success for a successful franchise can be both. It presents challenges of like, how do we keep this fresh, but it also presents like easy solutions. We just keep doing our thing, and people will keep buying it. So, they're choosing not to take the hard route and mix it up too much. They're playing it safe. Okay.
Exactly what they're doing.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't blame them when they're all getting their
I mean, they're
pockets
getting paid. They're
lined.
getting paid.
Yeah.
They're getting paid. So,
But
you know.
you got to take risks.
Yeah, it's like a factory mentality. Like, we know this is a car. You know how it drives. Step in it maybe there's some new upholstery and like the dial's kind of cool. We tweaked a few things, but this is our car. This is how it drives. Enjoy the new car smell.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah, man.
That's what it is. Let's get on to that next news. The final news piece. Bang.
Okay.
Bang, bang.
First, next gen game details suggest that a higher game pricing is on the way. All right. So
Sounds like
obviously nobody likes
problem.
paying more for games. It's been, in my mind, it's been $50 for a game since my entire life. And it's obviously not $50 for a
Yeah.
game anymore. But
Yeah,
in my head, I'm like, oh, it's still $50. It's never changed since I was little.
They
This
tricked
is
you.
Monopoly money. I'll just say whatever. I don't care.
But
Denial.
so, what is it? NBA 2K, that series has leaked the price of $70 for the newer gen titles. It's $60 for the older gen. They want to make it different by, if they're both out at the same time, why should I buy this one over this one?
Right.
$70. So everybody's like, okay, yes, it costs more to make games now, so the prices should go up. I mean, I've been buying games for a long time, and during the Super Nintendo time, even Nintendo times, there were titles that were far more than $60, let alone $50. Like, what was it, $69 for Final Fantasy 2.
99 for
Four.
Phantasy Star 4.
Fan Star 4 was
Yeah,
$99.99.
Certain JRPGs and like even Legend of Zelda, Link,
Yeah,
2,
so too. Was
those
expensive.
were $90. Like the prices were way up even then. But I understand where they're coming from. A lot of stuff goes into making these games now. A lot more people involved. A lot more money needs to be made. But I thought that the way that they countered that is by having these transactions and DLCs and subscription-based models that they're going for. Now, if they're starting to charge $70 plus, including that way to
Yeah,
make
you
money,
better not have no DLC.
then it's
Yeah.
going to be a problem.
Yeah, you better not have no DLC. I'm spending $70 for a damn game. You crazy?
Yeah, that game better be complete if I'm paying
They
$70.
have-
Yeah, it's got to be
Yeah.
complete.
Or I better have an automatic portal to whatever DLC you're releasing.
Easily.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's-
I understand I understand. It costs a lot of money.
It went from 50 to 60.
It
Everybody
costs
took,
a
they
lot of
said
money to
okay.
develop games, but like the thing is, it's like you know, like I don't know, man. It's like at the same time, it's just bad timing. Like
Well,
it's just bad timing.
I'm
man. Like right now with the
I'm
Definitely
looking
bad.
at it is bad timing. I'll just chime in
Yeah.
here. $70 in 1990. So
Right.
you know, games were. I'm thinking about my childhood. I'm thinking about like PC games, video games. Like you had these higher price points for game back then. That's worth, I guess, according to this inflation calculator I'm looking at, that's $138 to $140 today. Like games felt. I mean, I wasn't paying for them back then, but it seemed like they were really expensive, so that you didn't have a lot of them. Maybe we're trending back towards this reality of like developers being like, hey, these games are actually pretty expensive, and this $60 price point is arbitrary. I think we need to like raise the ceiling again,
right.
for whatever reason. But it doesn't feel like a radical move to me, and it doesn't feel like uncharted territory. It feels like they're kind of going back to I don't know.
Is it
They-
just 2K that has come out
As
publicly and said this, or are there other games saying?
As
like,
of
yeah,
right
we're gonna
now?
be at-
Yeah, as of right now.
they have the leaked price. If that's the case, and EA sees this, EA titles are going to be $70.
EA's
then
like,
if-
word?
But then if EA does it, then Ubisoft's going to be like, our games are $70.
Right.
And then if those companies make their games $70, that's the new norm. Like it's going to happen. It's going to
they-
be
they
that's
set
the
the
new
pre-
thing
Yeah.
for every at least AAA title.
They set the
It's
price.
gonna be
for
$70.
the pricing. Yeah.
But that doesn't say that third party titles or like smaller titles won't be $60 still. Like as you see
I think
$40,
right.
it's different.
In a way, one thing, I mean, from the consumer side, this is certainly not great news. From the developer side, Diego, feel free to, speak your piece here. It's kind of a relief that you're sort of, the ceiling is being raised, because I think there's all this pressure for developers to price down, especially developers who are on the lower end of the sort of price scale.
Okay.
Like, independent developers, we're trying to justify a $10 release, and now
Yeah, I
our
will say, like, trying to decide if Damage in Transit was too expensive at 15, like, in retrospect, is absurd to me.
paid
But
more
also-
for a pizza. I did.
Yeah.
And you
That's
can only
the
eat that
truth
pizza
of it.
once.
Yeah, you can only
play-
eat the pizza
you can play
once.
Damage in
Yeah.
Transit.
Exactly.
Yeah, only
Yeah.
eat pizza
And
once.
It's true.
Exactly.
consume and
So
it's done.
so there's and a lot more man hours went into making Damaged in Transit. Although it could be argued that pizza to get good at making takes a long time.
It could be a bad pizza for
Side
that price.
point. But I from the developer side, it's kind of like, well, maybe everybody's finally like giving ourselves a raise. I don't know. Like it gives developers an opportunity to like reassess this and consumers as well. Like, what is a value proposition here now that you know, Steam's still taking 30% of most sales on Steam if you're an independent developer.
Mhm.
You know, it's like it's a matter of deciding what the game is worth, deciding what we as creators are worth, and deciding are gamers willing to enter that you know the new terms of the arrangement. So that's kind of where I'm sitting. That's what it looks like.
You know, I think the big.
I think it's good.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Diego.
I was just going to say, I think it's good, though, also that, like, at least this week among developers, I've seen a lot of conversation on Twitter about, like, okay, well, like, I guess you could price up games, but also couldn't you scale down development? Like, do we need as many games to be 60 to 120 hours, or can we, like, get back to the realm of, like, 8 to 40-hour games? And is that okay?
Yeah, that's
I'm
I
fine
mean,
with
good
that.
point.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the Golden Axe, the arcade game. I think that if you pump in the quarters and you're like halfway decent at it, I think it's about an hour and a half to 2 hour
Easily.
experience.
Less?
Streets of Rage 4 was an hour and a half.
Right.
You
And
know.
that was
But
amazing.
what a great time!
Yeah,
that
it's
was,
fucking
You'll always
amazing.
Right.
Yeah, good hour and a half, yeah.
You know, I think the quality of the experience always trumps whatever padding
Absolutely.
or
Yeah.
you know. So that's kind of where we arrive at. Like, what are we really paying for? If I say where I would say this is a problematic situation is that you have that 70 hours just used to justify padding and unsubstantial gameplay that's just meant to just waste everyone's time. It's like, well, if I'm going to spend $70 for 70 hours of padding, mostly, I'd rather spend $15 for all killer, no filler on that. And that's why Damage in Transit is here.
Yeah.
All killer, no filler.
Yeah, man.
I like that. That was like a commercial right there. I like that.
So here's the big thing about prices, though. If say the games are $70 now,
Right.
if the game is good enough, people aren't gonna have a problem. They're still gonna buy it. It's still gonna sell for that price. Games have dropped all the way down to like 9 cents. I mean, the
Good point.
the fact that it has come to that the titles are $1 to 10 cents to this and that. Those games took a long time to make. No game is a snap of the fingers. A bad, terrible game that was shitty is $10.
Yeah.
Like
At-
people are charging 9 cents for their game.
I was going
Well,
to.
that's-
Yeah,
that's the
I'm
problem
glad you
with
said
the-
that because I was going to add. It's like where is the meeting point for it? Because I've played tons of indie game. I played perfect example, Blasphemous, right?
Yeah.
And in the indie shop, was it like $20, $21, something like that? 18 hours, great game, great gameplay. Had a great time with it, right? Loved it. And then you have something like NBA, gonna be $70 plus tax, $75.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not a sports gamer anymore. So obviously I'm like, oh, that's really, really high,
It's a big
but,
title.
But there's some people who love sports games that don't like games like Blasphemous. They'll be
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll pay that because I'm going to be playing that
That's the
all
thing they're gonna
year.
play all the time.
And it's worth it for me. So it's like,
It might be the only game.
yeah,
they
it might
play,
be the
too,
only
right?
game
Might
they
be,
play.
yeah.
So it comes down to what you like, and it's messed up because there's so many indie games
Right.
that are lower priced than these that offer a lot more than
Yeah.
or the same. It's either the same content that these AAA titles give or more, and they're cheaper price, and they're just like,
And nobody says anything about
Right.
the price being too low.
yeah, it's like, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I get spoiled too. Like that game Regalia of Men and Monarchs that used to be $24. They marked that shit down to $3.74. I said, give me that shit. I will take that in seconds. It's a 35-hour game.
But it makes you think that, is
I mean-
$25 too much for this game?
Yeah,
now?
you start
And
getting
now you're like,
spoiled.
the
Right.
prices
You-
are so low.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like,
So maybe
fuck.
bringing it back up is like, okay, I feel good about spending $40 for this now.
But if they did Smash Brothers, hey, blah, 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 $70, yeah, I'll pay it because I'm
People
a
will buy
Smash
it.
Brothers guy. Yeah, I'm
However,
going to pay
Dragon
it.
Ball Fighter Z.
I'll
The
buy it,
sequel,
yeah.
$70.
But these titles will still go
think-
on sale.
Yeah.
No,
They'll still drop down.
They still
Just
go on
gotta
sale
wait.
right before
Yeah.
the next one.
The sale is actually a good. It's sort of this exception to the rule because it's a way where the developer enters into this agreement like, oh, yeah, this game isn't really worth this little, but I'm gonna give you a little taste. You know, it's special time, it's Halloween or it's
Right.
the holidays, whatever. And then the buyer is like, ooh, nice, I can save some money, and the developer is like, yeah, but everybody wins because what ends up happening is that so many people are like, oh, nice, it's on sale, that it actually creates this spike in sales that they would never otherwise see. So the sale is actually a reverse, like it's actually a big windfall for the developer because just a ton of people are already buying. You know, you just get a lot of buys in bulk. It's like a bulk sale. It's like a set.
Okay.
It's like a Costco run for the developer.
What about this? I remember me and 23rd Stallion were talking about this business model for sports games, and Smash Brothers. They have the they released the game. What was it, a year ago, right?
2 years.
2 years ago.
Three,
Sorry,
almost.
two or
Yeah.
3
2
years.
years.
Almost 2
Yeah.
years. And they have these character packs that they're just like systematically releasing
Yep.
that everybody who owns the game is gonna buy. The sports games they have a yearly release. They release a new title.
Same thing
every
with
year,
like the wrestling games too.
you know, and
But you want roster upgrades.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I would prefer, me personally, like if you had the right gameplay, like the right perfect controls, I would prefer, and I would actually spend money for a roster change.
Yeah, like outfits,
story or just-
trades,
I
or
would-
whatever the
I
hell
would
happens
spend
in
money
that
on
year.
it. If the controls are good,
Yeah.
It
And
just
then
comes
you
down
add
to
up,
whether
it's
they're
like,
going to
oh.
make more money that way.
Yeah.
well,
that's what they think of.
That's
it.
the question,
Yeah.
though. Do you think they would make more money that way if they did that, or you think the model that they have now is?
The diehards are still going to buy it. The diehards are still going to buy
regardless,
it.
the
buy it.
diehards are going to buy it.
That's
but,
why they won't make more that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm surprised they don't charge $150 for Madden and Call of Duty.
Shit.
Like they'll buy it anyway. It doesn't matter.
Well,
the people who will buy those games will buy it.
That would be a statement. That would be a statement. That happened. That would be such a statement. That would be like, that would cause so much controversy. Even if people did buy it anyway, it's kind of like whenever Netflix rages. I remember Netflix. You could get the DVDs and the streaming,
Yes.
and when they announced that they were splitting their service, everybody lost it. And then like their stock price kept going up, and their streaming
Right.
it worked out.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah. Well, look at like Amazon too. Like they after COVID-19 and everything, it's like people are like, "Oh, I can't get my package, and I'm canceling my service." And now look at their stock went up.
Listen, people, regardless of the price.
nobody likes to find out they have to pay more.
No.
It's true.
Psychological. That is just the truth of
And
it.
then you get
But
used to it.
It's the nature of the game, and you just have to.
Yeah.
But
Things
there's gonna be outcry, and
Right.
people are gonna complain until
Right.
Christmas.
Right.
And then you're like, all right,
Things
$10 more
can
dollars.
only stay
What's
the
another
same
thing that
for
went
so
up?
long.
Actually,
That's it.
what was it? YouTube TV.
yeah, it's
went
a
up.
bunch of stuff.
Went up
Anything,
in, they
anything
added
that
new
goes up in
channels.
price.
Price went up.
Anything
Like,
that goes
oh.
up in
They
price.
added Comedy Central and Viacom.
So, like I said, people are
Makes
gonna
sense.
get used to it, and people are gonna be outraged, but people are gonna get used to it. And then 2 weeks later, it'll be $60 again, and then it'll be $50.
It'll
and
become the
40.
norm. It'll become the norm.
Just don't buy it on day one. Stop pre-ordering, people.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
if you're
what
not
it's
too
gonna
sure
do.
about
Yeah.
it, then don't pre-order.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
But if it's
Seriously.
worth it, yeah, you know.
Exactly.
All right, let's
Well-
get into our main topic because I know we're gonna be running on time
The
right now.
main topic, and we're promoting this. I have the trailer for Damage in Transit playing right now on the screen for everybody out there who doesn't know about the game,
Beautiful.
who doesn't know. But let's let you guys tell us about this game, Damage in Transit.
Yes.
Yeah. So Damage in Transit is a split attention action puzzle game where you play the foreman of a delivery company, and you have 2 delivery drones. So the twist is that you want to get your delivery drones safely to the goal on every level. You just need to direct them to the goal and avoid obstacles, which sounds easy, except that you're controlling them both at once, except that actually you're not controlling either of them. You're controlling arrow tiles on the map, right? So anytime you press up, down, left, or right, you're going to change every arrow tile on the map. And you have to make sure that any input you do isn't going to kill one drone while it like safely directs the other one.
Wow.
So it's kind of about splitting
like
your mind in
juggling.
half.
It is
Yeah,
like juggling.
It's really inspired by juggling. Yeah.
Wow.
It's an interesting concept.
It's a very interesting concept.
Challenging. It looks super challenging.
What is it? 23rd Stallion. And
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what's up?
I don't want to put you on the
No, what's
spot,
up?
but how far did you get?
Oh, well.
As far as the video showed.
Yeah, as far as you saw in the video, that's it, man.
Well, we got 25 stages, the first
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
We
Fast
did that in the
Alright.
first shot. That was our first time playing it.
Yeah, the funny thing, we were like, let's test.
I watched.
Yeah, we were like, let's just test this out. Let's see how it is. And I'm like, okay, this isn't so bad. And I think the messed up part is we got like maybe,
was a
I
hooking
think it
point.
was 18 or 19.
It was
and
a
I-
hooking point, yeah.
And I'm like, we're so close to 25.
yeah.
I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it, let's keep going. Let's just get
Yeah.
past this. I'm like, we're getting better at it. And then, I don't remember what stage it was.
Neither do I.
But I said, oh my God, my head is fucking hurting.
There's many times where I just zoned the hell out, and I'm like, wow.
And then I'm like, no, we could do it. I was like, we can do it. We
Yeah,
can do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Because Al he's a big puzzle guy. He
I
loves
love
puzzle games.
I love puzzle games.
I hate puzzles, but I'm not the worst. I'm actually pretty good at
Well,
puzzles.
this is like half puzzle game
Yeah.
too, right? Like,
Well, this is like, it's more of like, it is a puzzle game in that you have to figure out how to get the drones to the goal.
It's also a reaction game.
But yes, it's
a lot.
also
It's a lot.
also like a reaction game where you have to really pay attention to what you're supposed
And
to
you
do.
gotta if you're doing
And
co-op,
you
you
have-
gotta communicate.
And you
hardcore.
have to communicate. I think the co-op was the genius of the game. I think is the implementation of co-op and how it's simple, like so simple. Anybody can play this thing, man. Like it's literally you're pressing
Until-
up, down, left, right. It's like,
Until you throw in that second drone.
and then yeah,
I'll tell you one thing: the complete fuckery of everything that drove me insane is when the spikes were implemented, and every time you change the direction, the spikes went up and down. I said, no.
opposite
I'm like,
direction, yeah.
why is this here? Why is this here?
yes.
And I'm like, you know what? I was like, but we could do it. I was like, we
Yes,
could
yes,
figure this out. And the boss, oh my God, the
you
boss,
saw the frustration, dude.
the boss
That
Yeah.
boss battle
drove
was like,
me up.
We were on there for a
The
while.
meltdown.
Real tough.
I was having mental
Real
breakdowns like live.
You know what? The one thing that kept me going.
It was hard watching Wyatt play. I did the art, Cosmo did the music. Wyatt's our lead developer, level designer, and he's like, it's no problem. Like you watch him, he just like skates through the levels.
Dude,
He's
that's
insane.
insane.
He's insane.
That's
But,
insane.
you know, he built that. I think some of the later levels he has some trouble with, but he built
Oh
them.
God.
But it's just like, yeah, Cosmo and I had a hard time.
So did any of you guys
Kept me
finish
up
it?
at night. It made me a better Sekiro player.
It all comes back to
Yeah.
Sekiro.
I was like,
Yeah.
Sekiro is surprisingly, wow, I can just, this boss. No, it feels like because you're dealing with two, it's a dance, it's a bit of a
Yes.
juggle, and but it's in a bite-sized package, so
It is good.
That's why
Before
it's.
we released, we did like a playtest day where Wyatt and I each played through on a different machine, so we just knew like at least we could get through every level on the Switch once or whatever. And that took me 6 hours, and I had played every level before. It was very intense.
Wow.
It's
Couldn't imagine.
I listen, man. That actually, I'll tell you this. The one thing that got me through, I don't know what it is. Like Cosmo, man, you did an awesome job. Like the music is so catchy. It's so.
It's
soothing.
relaxing.
It's
I
so
mean,
soothing.
it's very relaxing.
Through the whole
It's very
time, I'm
relaxing.
thinking like, I like this music.
It almost
man.
is calming me down. It calms me down.
Like you
a
get-
little
That's
bit.
the thing. The goal was to have it be, I guess the vibe I was going for was jaunty. Like I wanted it to be like, oh, it's nice, but also you can do this. Like it's okay. You're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be upbeat,
Yeah.
but also kind of fun and playful, and not too repetitive. I made sure that the loops were really long, so it never felt like the music was getting too repetitive. Yeah, I mean, it was meant to evoke the playfulness of the theme, you know, the robots and like falling off. It was kind of like slapsticky theme, but the music, yeah, I just wanted people when they get frustrated, it's
To relax.
You want the music to keep them cool. It's
Yeah.
like when you're on call hold music. It's very intentional.
yes.
Like that music is meant to be very, very like it's okay. We're gonna get through this. And so that was kind of my thinking.
That's very accurate.
No, that's extremely accurate
That is
because
so
there was,
accurate.
and the funny thing is, we would talk and we were like, "Yo, if this music was bad, I'd break. I'd be like done. I'd be
I would
done.
shut it
By
off.
stage 8, I'm like,
Like,
no,
I can't take this anymore.
I'm having a breakdown.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll tell you when I first saw this game, the impression I got of it before, like first stage, I'm like, okay, I remember because I'm a puzzle guy too. I'm not like crazy into puzzles, but I do have some puzzle games. There was a game for Dreamcast called Choo Choo Rocket, and I was like, oh, it's like Choo Choo Rocket because it has the arrows and you got to tell them to go a certain way and stuff like that. It was similar until I saw that there's another guy. And you have to do things a different way as he goes by. And I was like, okay, now you've messed with my mind.
At that moment, you realize you done fucked up right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's almost more like Choo Choo Rocket multiplayer, but like the stakes are way higher. Because I feel like it's like sometimes in Choo Choo Rocket you have to like deal with the cat and the mice or whatever at the same times, but you don't like immediately lose if you mess up. There's like a little bit of cushion there.
Yeah. So I made it through that one. But I was like, when did you guys decide that the 2-player or the 2-drone aspect, was that always like the beginning of development, or was it something that you came up with after you thought the 1-player was too easy?
Yeah. No, that was always there. So this game started as a prototype by our collaborator Wyatt Young while he was in school at the NYU Game Center, where we all went. Yeah, his goal was basically to try to make a game about the experience of juggling, right? Of like managing multiple things and splitting your attention across multiple parts of the screen. Yeah, there were 2 drones from the start for sure.
Jeez, well, mission accomplished. That is juggling.
The co-op was a way late addition. We were almost like, we won't do co-op. It doesn't add anything. And then Wyatt sort of thought of the control split, and we tested it a couple times, kind of thinking people would hate it and like throw their controllers at the wall. But I don't know. You guys be World One.
Oh, that was probably like, I don't know if you guys saw the end of the video. That was like that was a gaming accomplishment beating that boss.
my
I'm like, yo, because
Yeah.
there were so many times where like we're playing through it and I'm supposed to hit, what was I, up or down? I was up and down.
You're up and down.
You were left and
I'm
right.
left and right.
Yeah, so I'm like, he's like, all right, hit up. And I'm just staring at the screen.
I did the same thing.
Eric,
though.
hit up. Huh? What? I'm like, what oh, dude, my brain just like turned off. I'm like, my bad. Now fix it next time. I'm like, yo, hit
Yeah,
left.
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 I'm like,
Huh?
I'm staring at the screen like, I can't.
And I'm
You
like,
end up
yo.
looking at yourself.
Yeah, you're like, wait. I'm like, I gotta get my shit together here. Like, I really need to. But the thing is, as frustrating as it is, there's such an intriguing appeal about the game that it's like, I could probably do this. It leaves a little breadcrumb. Like, I could probably beat this stage.
I like the pacing.
That's where
I was gonna say I like the pacing of how you would have a difficult stage, right? And you're like, what the hell? And then the following stage, or 2, would be like something that you figure out like right away,
not
and you're
so
like,
bad.
You're like, oh, that's not so bad. So it gives you like motivation to keep going. So it's like, it wasn't like all like, oh
Yeah,
my goodness,
everything
like
wasn't
crazy.
a nightmare. It was just like,
No, it was like paced
Yeah.
very well. Where it was like, oh, you get like 1 or 2 stages where it was like, holy shit, what
Yeah.
the hell? And then I'm like, oh, this is easy. This is not too bad. I can keep going. It's like, and that's what basically kept
It's-
us going.
I think Diego, you could probably speak to this more too, but like the pace is about, introducing new concepts. Like after you've had that like intense time, the next level sort of gives you a new concept that you warp your mind around. And usually when you absorb things, you don't want to be in a state of frustration. You want to be in a state of relaxation. So that's when you're absorbing the new rules. Then the next stage is like, oh, well, okay, now you know those rules. Let's push back a little bit. Then in the boss, you put it all, you have to sort of take everything you've learned and put it together. That's, I feel like, classic design
like Mario
ideas.
3 methodology.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Mario 3 school of thought, and it's tried and true. And I feel like Wyatt was really smart about like going to that well and taking those lessons.
And we play tested the hell out of it. I mean, we took it to NYU Game Center's playtest Thursdays, like every Thursday. Played it with the students there. We went to Play NYC last summer. That was actually when we were like, that was when we realized the co-op was good. Was like the first time we saw people like bang their heads against the level for like a half hour and then like jump out of their seats and hug when they do it.
No, it really
Like,
is an
beautiful,
accomplishment.
beautiful
Yeah,
moment.
if
Yeah.
you
Seriously.
want to like patch up a relationship or a friendship,
Get to it.
Don't play this.
play
Yeah.
this.
Dig down in the trenches.
Yeah, just get to a
Yeah.
stage, man. You're good.
No, it's one of those games where you don't even care what the ending is.
No,
Who
there's
cares?
I don't need a story.
Who gives a fuck if it's just the end? I just need to get through this
Hey, I
shit.
drew that story.
Yeah.
It does have a story.
Well, yeah, if you're looking for a little poignancy though, the story is there.
Oh, dude.
There's something there.
That's hilarious.
It
Yeah.
does look very rewarding whenever you guys finish. Like when you guys finish that boss level,
No, we were,
That was genuine. I didn't even know
it's
there
like,
was a
it's like you
camera
guys
on. I
just
was
won
like,
the
That's a
championship.
real high.
So what?
What happened?
That's a real high. No, that's you earned it. That's a good.
That's grinding.
Dude,
that's that.
I've-
I remember when I was like, wait, there's a fucking boss. I was like, wait a second. I'm like, oh, so we just beat the boss, but it's like, no, you beat the boss, and then you have to get into the freaking exit. I said, no. Why do we have to get
Yeah,
to the
I-
exit? I'm like,
Yes.
come
Did you
on.
make it in the exit on the first try, or did you have to like start
Oh, no,
over?
we-
on
We
the boss?
did it several times.
Yeah, after we beat the boss, we messed up at least a couple more times after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to beat the
Yeah.
boss
Wow.
like several times.
I'm like,
Figure it
Yeah, we
Amazing.
tried to solve that with tutorial text, give you like a little more heads up, but it's hard.
No, man, it was done right.
no, I
It
need
was
a
done well.
I need a life coach next to me while I'm doing that. I'm like, someone needs to like
You should know that
hype
also,
me up or
like,
something. I'm like,
a cheerleader.
You should know that Wyatt also like lives to troll people with that design. Like he got so much satisfaction out of watching people struggle.
no, it is entertaining. I have to admit, no matter what game
It
it
is.
is, seeing it's like horror games, I love seeing people get terrified in
Yeah,
games.
man.
It's hysterical. But like
Yeah.
seeing people struggle and get frustrated in games, it's funny. I
is.
find it
It's
watching
hilarious.
myself get frustrated. It's
Honestly,
hilarious.
I edited the video and I was
You were laughing
I
throughout
was
the whole
laughing
time.
to the entire.
It's funny.
I'm like, wow, I forgot. It was entertaining.
Diego, I don't know if Wyatt's told this to you, but I always know this. You know, Wyatt he comes from an engineering kind of background. I come more from an arts background, and his whole approach to how he deals with his craft and his practices, well, there's always a solution. You can always figure it out. So he has a very happy-go-lucky disposition. And it's always, and I'm, many people in the game developer world around us are like, it will never work. We can't figure this out. It's up. And then Wyatt's like, oh, we'll figure it out eventually.
Wow.
And I think that philosophy translates into this game.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole approach is like, oh, you'll get it. There's a way. You'll do it.
going.
You'll get there. Even as he's like, laying it on with crazy
Yeah.
challenges
Yeah.
and curveballs and bosses. But so,
That's pretty crazy.
with a smile.
I do think like the difficulty is the biggest criticism we get about the game. Also, I think a lot of people think the game is too hard, and that's something that's been difficult to address because I think part of the reason that it is so hard is because juggling is really hard.
It's
like
not easy.
the fundamental concept of the game is something that our brains are not good at and are not trained at.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is that criticism at all tempered by the fact that there is a timer slider that you can slow the game down or speed it up? Or is
People
it just
usually acknowledge that, but I think it's still, it's still hard. even at, I mean, that's part of why we were okay with adding that difficulty slider, right? Like even at 60% speed, you still have to be, aware of both sides of the screen at the same time, and you forget about the other drone. No matter how hard you
Yes.
try, you just keep forgetting about it.
Yes.
That's why I like the co-op so much. It's like, all right,
co-op
now
is
I could focus on these two jobs, so you focus on those two jobs,
Yes,
and let's just
yes.
both try to focus
Communication.
on where that guy's going.
Communicate.
Yeah, where's he going?
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
And then
it's
get the timing right. Like, okay, now.
Yeah.
Now.
Yep.
Now.
I appreciate that, but I also think co-op is like 300 times harder.
Oh, is it really?
Dude.
Yeah, because you have to communicate, right? In single player, you don't
I
have to
thought it
communicate.
was.
You just.
I thought that would. Oh, that's.
I thought
actually,
single
that's
would be tougher
thought
because I
single
have to
would-
focus. I
right.
can't focus on a damn thing by
Same,
myself.
man.
Usually, I'm just so like
Yeah, that's-
laser focused on one thing, and I
Think
gotta
about the opposite
focus on 50 million things
I
at once.
could do it, but I'm like,
Something lost, something.
Yeah, like
but also co-op is cool. I mean, the way I see it, because we grew up playing games.
yeah, I
like
think
co-op games and
it's
stuff.
also has to do
So-
with how we grew up with games too.
And we also hype each other up.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like I know there was like maybe 2 times where I was like, "Yo, I've had enough, man.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if I could go." And you're like, "Come on, man, we got this. We got this." And I would do the same.
Yeah,
for
there's a
him.
lot of that.
And it
'cause-
was like we just hype each other up and just
Yeah.
motivate each other to go through.
Yeah.
In that regard, I think in my mind, I think it's easier because of that.
I think
motivation.
also
Because
too
of
because
that,
we're
yeah.
old school gamers. We
Yeah.
grew up with a lot of
Yeah.
the regular Nintendo, Sega Master
Yeah.
System with a lot of
No hand holding.
a lot of messed up difficulty games. So
Yeah.
and we played them together. So it's like when we play like the Cupheads and
Right.
tough games like that, it's like okay. Yeah, this is fucking difficult. Here we go again. I used to play this way back in the day, but there's a part of you that's like, I'm gonna get down on this. I'm gonna beat this shit, and that's it.
Yeah.
Me and Sticks, we played Cuphead, and we had
Oh,
our
gosh.
our issues, but there'd be times he'd be off, and I'd be on, and I'm like, come on, man, and then he'd be on, and I'd be off, and he'd be like, come on, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
we both have to get it right. We have to get our shit together. So. It's like I was just saying, you have to hype each other up. Same thing with Overcooked. When we play Overcooked,
Yes.
4 of us got to be on point
Yes.
and communicate. And I think that's the intriguing thing about Damage in Transit playing a co-op is, he'll be off one time, but I'll be off another time. But I'm like, but when we're on, that's magic. I'm like, it just feels good. Oh, we beat that stage. Yeah, fuck that
Yes.
stage.
There's
It's
always
just
a
like,
Yeah. When,
you know?
what ends up happening, I think it's I didn't really involve myself in that. I was removed from that aspect of how this game came together. But from where I'm sitting, what you ended up adding to the game by going into co-op was that you added this element of a shared experience. I know I play a lot of board games. And cooperative board games like Pandemic or stuff of that nature, like everyone around the experience takes on a life of its own depending on who is around the table with you. And so who you play this game with, that you add this dimension of, I'm not just playing Damage in Transit, I'm playing it with my best friend, or I'm playing it with my dad, or I'm playing it with my wife, or I'm playing it with my boyfriend, or I'm playing it with my son. That adds this other layer of meaning to the experience that you otherwise wouldn't have if you just had solo mode. So, and that meaning can elevate it to something bigger than just beating the puzzle.
Right.
So that's where I think that where I think that's such a strong move that you did that Wyatt decided to make that play.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think that's good that you didn't mess with the difficulty, only because we played the co-op of Overcooked.
Yes.
Overcooked 1 we beat co-op 4 players, and then we beat Overcooked 2. Overcooked 2 was a lot easier. I'm gonna say was a lot easier than 1.
With the exception of one stage.
With the exception of one, yes,
Just that one
stage
stage.
was pretty fucked up.
Fuck
But
that stage.
like Overcooked 1 was very ambitious as far as like that's like the genre of like a 4-player co-op type, party
Work
type game,
together.
like work together cooperative game, and that basically created that whole thing. But that freaking boss was tough.
Yeah.
That was a tough where everybody had to.
You gotta
like
be
what
on
were
point.
saying, like
Yeah,
you
gotta be
learned
on
all
point.
these. You learned all these rules, and everybody has to. But now you have to communicate with each other, and when you're not communicating, that's when everything messes up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
With that being said,
yeah.
are you guys gonna make a 4-player version of this game?
Shoot, man.
Up, down, left, right.
Someone's in charge
man.
of up, someone's in charge of down.
Ask Wyatt about
got
that.
I got some sketches I wrote for the game that didn't make the cut, so I gotta put them
Yeah,
in.
man.
Oh, geez.
Man.
Dude, that's actually interesting. That
That would really make
That
people
would be
angry.
interesting.
Oh
That
my
hurts
God.
my head just
Four
thinking about it.
player.
No current announcement.
It would be
Take your time. Take your time, guys. It's all
each
good.
of the four has a direction.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
One person has up,
I'm in
the other
charge
person
of
has
up.
down,
You're-
left and right.
And there's like 4
A lot of
drones going
people
around.
ask
Like,
for, like more. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
People always ask for more drones, but I can't.
No.
Like,
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Listen,
you
you have two
Can you
hands.
imagine?
You want to
No, it's fine.
juggle 4 pins?
No.
Let's go.
Guys, it's fine. Just 2's fine. It's okay.
two is good.
Please. Just
Two drones, and then people control up, down, left, right.
Yeah.
That's all.
We don't need more than 2.
Maybe.
We good.
We have
No
2
more than
hands.
2 drones.
You juggle with 2 hands, so that's good.
Dude, I can't juggle for shit.
No, I can't.
I can't juggle for shit. It's like 1, 2, 3.
It becomes an interesting level design challenge because we had to. Most of the levels were okay, but there were a number of levels we actually had to like put just like an extra arrow tile or something in because there are levels. Even now, I think there are certain levels that you can just beat with one person. Like you just never need to press down for whatever reason. So actually, like, I don't know how we would design 4-player levels. I feel like people would just be sitting there, like, watching the one arrow that actually has to go right.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that shit.
Oh yeah.
I wish
My
I
turn.
could.
I imagine that the design would shift towards. I mean, when you have 4 people each controlling the same, it just could become quite messy. You know, each person has less to do. Kind of sharing the load more.
Maybe have them do the traps. You know, like
Oh yeah, that's
you know,
cool.
Like A button or B button or something like that to like move the traps out of the way at the same. I don't know.
But you'll know who's messing up though. If somebody keeps
You'll
messing
know
up,
who's messing up.
and then they're gonna get actually hurt.
You have to like it's like a dance. It's like everybody has to be in
But
sync.
if that
you know?
right thing never moves, you're like, listen.
We always turn on it. We do
Well,
turn on each other. We
We
turn
do.
on each other
We
a
do
lot.
from time to
It's like,
time.
come on, make the soup. Make the fucking soup.
Who's the weakest link?
Damn it! It's just tomatoes. It's 3 tomatoes.
I think
Oh, I'm getting hungry.
I think it would be interesting, though, man. Definitely.
hilarious.
I like that one time in Gears I tell you not to blow yourself up 5 seconds.
All right, I take full responsibility.
yourself
That you
up.
give me too much power in the game, I'm gonna abuse it and I'll kill myself. You know?
But I think the difficulty balance is perfect the way
Yes.
it is.
The difficulty for me is fine.
Yes,
because it's
fine.
it's so rewarding when you get through that difficulty. And the funny thing is,
You'll learn.
even though we got to we beat the first world, it's like
That's a lot of levels.
just
though.
thinking of what the last boss is gives me anxiety. Like I have no clue of what it looks like, but it makes me like have a panic attack.
I don't know what it is either.
It's like, what could it
So-
possibly be?
I'll a little spoiler
Cool.
for you. The boss is the same on every world. It's always the flamethrower.
Oh, it is.
so
Okay. Whew, okay. All right.
Oh, goodness.
Just the level design that changes, and I would say the game does get harder than World 1, but it's not like level 5 is 5 times World 1. I think it kind of goes up and comes back down a little bit. Each level is designed around like types of feature, not necessarily specifically difficulty. It's just like new stuff, right? Like World 5 has teleporters, and World 4 has like saw blades and stuff, right? Like there's like different stuff, but not necessarily like much
He
harder.
said
It's
teleporters.
different
That made
concept.
me feel a certain way.
Last boss. Plot twist of the last boss is that it chases you. It follows you around.
Oh shit! I'm about to say,
you got me
fuck
shit.
that.
Wouldn't do
I'm
that.
done.
We wouldn't do that to you. We would not do that to you. We would not have a chasing boss. In addition
Oh,
to
geez.
Yeah, that would be so rough.
Oh,
I like that.
Listen, if you mess up
okay, maybe in the sequel we'll have
if you mess up one
4
arrow,
player.
you're caught.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
You gotta do it flawless.
Oh wow, man. But what were some of your influences on like
I know like Wyatt's main design influence was definitely juggling. Statedly, like that's the influence.
Wow.
He juggles.
He juggles.
He juggles.
I think he had a stint with juggling, but I actually don't want to. I don't want to be quoted as saying that, even though I just quoted myself saying it. For me, it's like visually, it's like I love. I guess I was thinking about like Misadventures of Tron Bonne. I love like PlayStation era Mega Man games. So I think you can kind of see some of that in the robot design, right? They kind of look like the Servbots from Mega Man Legends. Yeah, and I don't know. I've been doing pixel art for most of my time in games, so I was just kind of calling on that, and then like Link to the past, I guess, has a lot of perspective influence on it. And then, like, my own experience, I was kind of into the, I had just been to Spain, so the first world is kind of like about those like seaports that I was visiting in Spain. And,
Cool.
yeah, so I don't know, it's kind of all over the place. The drone idea came about from this idea of indirect control, right? Like originally we were designing it to be these dungeon crawlers, kind of like more like classic game skin, delving deeper and deeper into a dungeon. But it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense that like you would be these human characters, but you couldn't control them. So the drones kind of was a natural fit.
Okay.
That's interesting.
In terms of music, the influence, there were sort of two things three elements I wanted to bring in. One was like a groove, a driving feel, so that you always felt energy when you were controlling the drones. Two was like kind of the palette I already like to work in, which is I'm a cello player and hand percussion and like piano. Like I was just kind of going with my kind of jangly, jazzy palette. But then the third thing, and I wanted it to be really melodic. I wanted to have like melodies that you could sort of whistle after you put the game down or think in your mind. But then finally, the new element I was bringing in that Diego kind of presented to me was this 8-bit vibe, this sort of slight like sounds from the NES era that I could kind of sprinkle in there as this counter sauce to it's like this stew of different ingredients, but specific styles, I guess it's like my take on 8-bit, which is more organic and jazzy and funky, but still leaving a little room for that 8-bit.
Wow.
There's always
All
room
right.
for 8-bit.
That's what makes it catchy, man.
You guys don't think that from your taste in games that pain was an influence?
Pain.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I wanted it jaunty. I wanted it upbeat because I knew otherwise it'd be more pain. Like that.
I was pushing Greg to make the music more like stressful and hectic.
Oh man.
Oh.
Really glad that he pushed back against
Or
that.
it like
man.
builds up
Imagine it
as
was
you get
building up.
It goes
as you're
faster.
doing better, it goes faster.
Well,
I
I'm
would stress.
that doesn't have any effect on me because
It would
I'm
fuck me
a
up.
Tetris fan. I play Tetris like professionally and stuff. But
That pressure bill would
Like-
be awful.
the music gets faster and faster, but I zone that out.
I
And
can't.
that's when I just focus on the game. But I don't know if that would work on me. But
It would work. It's
I don't know.
Yeah,
Tetris is
we'll just put in the sonic drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
that's
Sonic-
Oh no, that's the most stressful. All right. If you did that, that would work. On
that
me.
always got me.
That
man.
always got me
That-
too, man.
Every time.
Even though I would have mad time, I'm like stressing and I'll
Yeah.
fuck up the jump and I'm
Dude,
dead anyway.
It's funny. Side note:
man.
I put that music as my ringtone, and I immediately took
Took
it
it
off.
off.
It was every time somebody called me, I was like, "Oh my god,
no,
I
no,
can't! I gotta
no,
answer my phone.
no.
Shit.
Make it
No,
an
I can't
alarm.
do it. It's too much
That's-
stress.
That's
Too much stress.
stressful.
Make it an
amazing.
alarm sound.
Can't
You
do
have
it.
to wake up.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. For an alarm, that'll work.
Oh, for an
perfectly.
alarm, yeah.
That's perfect.
Oh, man.
Wake up.
That's
But anyway,
You guys did an awesome job, and
Yes.
hopefully you get to share that with as many people as possible.
yes,
It's an awesome game.
Thanks so much for playing it.
Well,
yeah, man.
thanks for playing it. Thanks for going in on it because we worked on it for like a year, 2 years, a year and a half, off
Wow.
mostly.
It's a lot of work.
So proper independent development cycle. Given we got other stuff that we're working on, it was kind of done in tandem. But I'm really happy with how we came together and did this as a team. So I'm glad you all are playing it and enjoying it, and more people are enjoying it too.
Awesome,
Nice.
man.
Yeah,
For sure.
you guys definitely did hell of a job, and who knows? Maybe me and Al might try out World 2. Who knows? I don't know. Like,
We just saw it.
hey,
That's it.
listen, I'm down for the
Send me the
cause.
link.
I'm down for the cause if you are.
Yeah,
you know?
listen.
At the very least, the music, you can just have the music playing and set a mood.
There you go.
I'll go with whatever the chat or whatever you guys out there.
Yeah,
you
if people want
if
it,
you
we'll
guys
do it.
wanna
We'll
see it.
Yeah,
let us know.
Yeah, we'll do part 2.
and
if you want.
we'll definitely play.
You
it.
already
If you
know
want to
the
see
answer to that.
pain,
They want to
they want to
it.
see pain.
I don't want
They
to.
wanna
Oh
see
no,
it.
there's gonna be pain regardless. There's going to be pain.
Is it the world's first split attention puzzle game? Out of curiosity.
No, that it is definitely not. Although I don't think there are many. Another Game Center graduate. I don't know if Wyatt knew about this game actually, but many years before, or a couple years before, Zeke Verant made a game called Soft Body.
Soft body.
Yeah,
That
which is
was-
a really cool game.
Interesting.
It's like
Type of game.
independent control, right stick, left stick controls things different. I mean, that was
It's like a
Even
bullet
more.
hell painting game. You have like 2 snakes, and you need to like touch
Oh,
blocks
gosh.
on the
shit.
map to paint them. You control each one with a joystick, but then also things are shooting at you.
Oh,
I remember a game like that. We had to use
Bullet
both
hell.
analogs with left and right of the screen. I forgot what it was, but for PlayStation, I think.
Jeez.
I forgot what
There
it
was a 3D game like that too. Brothers, I think it was
yeah,
called.
brothers.
Brothers was like that
Ah,
too, but
Brothers
before
was-
that,
yeah.
there was a weird. I don't know. It was hard though. Whenever you got to think of 2 sides of the screen at the same
Yeah.
time,
Stress.
it's hard.
Stress.
That's like play yourself in Pong. Like,
yeah,
it's simple. That's the
Playing
first one.
yourself in Pong.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Hell yeah.
but yeah, man, everybody out there who doesn't know about this game, definitely give it a shot.
Yeah, mess with it, man. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself.
Definitely,
It's very
definitely.
rewarding when you complete something, man. You
if
learn
you
a lot
got-
about yourself as a gamer.
If you got a friend, if you got a friend as well, play this game, man. Awesome. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Or it might end it.
Or
Or it
might
might
depending on how the guys know each other.
Just remember, there's forgiveness. There
Yes,
is forgiveness.
all about forgiveness. All about
But
But guys, it's been a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you for being on the
Thank
show.
you so much, guys.
Thank you so much for your time, guys.
thank you.
All
man.
right, man.
No
Until
problem. We'll do
next
this again.
time, man.
Look forward to
Definitely.
many other projects in the future.
Yes,
Exactly.
keep in touch.
Because
Take care, guys.
See you guys.
Yeah, man.
it's funny that game. It's so unique because
Definitely.
it gets me so mad. But it's like there's that little glimmer of no. I could probably. I think
No,
I could get this. I think I could get
when
this.
you-
I
when
think I
you-
can do it. I
Leave
think
that
I
little
can.
bit of
And
hope.
you get
Yeah.
that when you like when you complete a stage, you get that feeling of just like wow, like you just overcame.
Because you
like-
don't think you can do it at the beginning.
No,
you look
no.
at it; it's so intimidating, and
Yes.
and it's kind of like that's how things are in life in general.
Yeah.
Like you see
Yeah.
things
Yeah,
that
yeah.
are very intimidating, and then you're like,
It's quick.
Let me try. Let me at least try.
Yes.
And then you're like, okay,
You know what? I
it
think-
wasn't that bad in the first place.
It's
And
crazy because it's like all right. In every game, in every video game, you have like a momentum, but in this, it's like the stage, the freaking stage starts, and it's like you're moving, and you have to like react like quick.
Oh, yeah.
there's no slowdown.
No slowdown.
No, go.
It's like they
go,
just, what's
go,
the next stage?
go.
Bam! You're
You
just
learn.
like
You
throwing
learn
it
on
there.
the
You're
go.
like,
Yeah.
oh shit!
You
So
learn
you're-
on the go.
And as a video game, and if
Yes.
you're a fan of video games,
Yes.
that's a good thing to. It's a good thing to go through. You know,
Yes.
it's you go through the pain and you go through the happiness, all in the same thing. So it's dope.
Even if you don't want to go through the pain, you can watch us go through the pain.
Yeah, if,
Oh, yeah.
if you don't, if you know you can't mess with it, at least check us out dying. You know,
Yeah, every fifth time they die, have a shot or something. Make it
Turn
worthwhile.
into a drinking game.
yeah.
That could be dangerous.
You would die.
Oh
But
dear
let's just be
God.
honest. There's a lot of people, a lot of gamers that just aren't very smart.
Mm.
You know, and there's a lot of games that are made today to be accessible, and they miss out on that challenge and that difficulty.
It's very true.
Stimulate your brains, play something that's going to
Yeah.
challenge you a little something. You'll be smarter in the process. You get
Yeah.
a little frustrated, but once you get that sense of accomplishment,
It's
Yes.
dope.
that's what a game's
Yes.
supposed to
That's when
feel
the
like.
ending
So,
doesn't matter. It's just when
That's
whatever.
what
It's
y'all
just
do.
like
I
How
want
you
to see
do
that.
it?
That
I
euphoria.
wasn't sure where he was going with that, but it
No,
ended
no, no.
really well.
No, but
really
there
well.
is like a euphoric moment when you freaking that
just
last
watch
boss-
our reaction, our genuine reactions to beating that boss.
I didn't know.
Like,
I
it was
honestly
like-
didn't know there was a I didn't care.
No.
I was just like
Yeah, there's just so much drama in playing it, but it's really rewarding feeling like that when beating something.
And there's
It
a
makes you
That's
want to go
why
out
when
for
you
shots.
question me about playing Dark Souls, this is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But there's no
Okay.
appeal to that game. I'm joking.
It's not
I'm
co-op.
joking.
It's
I'm
not
joking.
co-op.
I'm
It's
joking.
not co-op.
I'm joking.
It is cool.
No, but to add to that, look, there's many games that have that feeling of, oh my god, this is tough.
Yeah.
But
when you
there's-
beat
a little-
something that seems impossible,
Yeah.
and you have a glimmer of hope, and you do it,
and you take that hope.
It
that's
feels
what that
good.
game is
That's
about.
what it's about. Yeah.
feels good.
And that's
It does
and,
feel
and
good.
it's in the form of a game that games that you're passionate about. It's awesome. It's great.
a good
It's
feeling,
really
man.
really great feeling. If it
Yeah,
doesn't
man.
matter if it's a 8-bit looking game or if it's a 4K 60 frames per second looking beautiful. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just
No.
as long as it has that feeling in the game It's dope. It's dope.
It's a
really
very
dope.
unique game experience that you're just not going to get from every single game you're going to
No.
pick up. So
They're gonna work on that 4-player though.
no,
Dude,
Gosh.
dude,
You're gonna have murders. You're gonna have deaths. There's gonna be suicides.
That is
They don't want that on
lot
there.
of fighting.
They don't want that.
I think it could work. I think it could work.
I think you can do 4.
I think if
think
they
you can.
add,
keep the 2 drones. Just 2.
listen, 2 drones.
No.
And
2
if they
drones.
add like the other people do something different in
Yeah.
the stage, then
Yeah.
that's where
One
it would
person
go.
work the spikes, maybe.
Yeah.
One person
Something else in
yeah.
there other than the arrows.
Working
I
the
think that can
traps
work.
or moving the
Because
platform.
they've thought of it.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
they've thought of it. And some stuff.
It's all
just
about
doesn't work
execution.
out.
If it can,
It's
like
like
translate.
Like they
well.
said, if you're waiting too long to do something,
Yes.
you're like, come on. But if you have to interact with something in the stage other than the drones, and if it's up to you to do it,
But
then it's your fault when you die.
Yes.
That's
It's-
it.
hey, you
That's
know-
you know what,
gonna
the-
cause
Who
pain.
is supposed to hit left?
but it happens though.
That's
It's
me.
like it's like like you're the one that fucking hit
Yeah.
the button, hit the button.
But it's a dope game, man.
I do that all the time.
I enjoyed that game a lot more
Yes.
than I thought I would, and
Yes.
I would try to mess with World 2.
Yeah.
I'd have to drink a lot beforehand, but yeah.
Oh,
no,
don't
we're
drink
gonna
that.
beat
Oh, dude,
the
I don't know
game.
about that.
We're gonna beat the game. I'll get in on that with you guys.
Oh really?
Oh, really?
Oh, you
I'll
want
get-
in?
You're ready.
I will get
okay.
in on that.
I'm glad somebody
Actually, you
volunteered, 'cause
play.
I'm still traumatized from Portal.
You play what you call Mega Man. You're
You know what?
Turbo
We
is a
could beat
Mega
this
Man
game
fan.
as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Actually,
when we get
you know what?
fatigue, you and Jay take over.
You know what?
And then Chocolate jumps
Yo,
in.
check it out.
You
Check it
know?
out. Here's how we do it. Here's how we do it. Yeah, we do all 5 of us, right? Sitting on the couch, past the controller.
Yeah.
So.
You tired yet?
Oh, you'll never
definitely-
link.
you passed
Your
it.
your brains will never work.
Oh, you're wild.
Never. That will not
wild.
work.
And it will take us 36
cold.
hours.
No, it would
as
work
hell.
because it's like you'll be watching the stage, but you're like, I have an idea what
Yes,
they're doing.
yes.
Then you'll get
Yeah,
the
you
controller.
implement it, like,
this is
oh,
what, boom,
okay.
done.
Okay, and then you're thinking about it the whole time.
While
Like,
I'm sitting here recovering, shaking in the corner, you could be a fresh brain.
No, I think
for
that
real,
might
It'll
work.
work.
yo, I think it was like a
Well,
marathon when we just,
Cosmo, Diego, we got this.
Yeah,
All right, we're
man.
going to beat this
we're
game.
gonna do it, man.
All right?
Yo, we'll be the prototype, man. Send
Yeah.
us any demos.
When Turbo's not on the podcast 1 week, it might be because he's just not coming back.
Yeah.
After
It's
that
like this.
game.
He's just at home,
Yeah, he's
foaming
gone.
at the mouth. Like,
After
Comes
that
back
game.
in a
I gotta get recovery from that, man. It's gonna have to be recovery.
And Chuck, I see you typing like we don't know media glitch.
Yeah.
Come on. Of course we know media glitch.
I'm sorry.
media
This
glitch.
is
is-
no-
Media glitch in the chat?
Yes,
He's in the chat.
What's
Oh,
good?
Hey.
Media glitch.
We got to get Media Glitch on the podcast, too.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
man.
we were just talking about that.
I work? Damn, am I late? Well, I'm not on the chat, so I don't
Yeah,
know
I don't know what's going
man.
on.
We
in
know
the chat.
all about that
No one's
channel.
updating me.
We know all
My
that.
fault.
You know?
We waiting for the,
I was
waiting
busy.
for the
I'm
collab.
holding the
It's-
chat to myself.
It's all
The collab.
good.
I was about to back off the chat when they called me Sean Kingston, but we're
Damn, that's
That was the beginning of the combo.
Exact King
Yeah.
back in here. Nobody called me Sean Kingston. Nobody asked me to sing.
That's how he
911.
Surely I'll take you there. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that was in my
So you
lyric.
got
That was in
started.
a lyric I did.
That was a lyric.
It was. It was. It was.
See, there we go.
I would know.
Oh,
Sing
man.
that
So
song.
why are you gonna take a chick to the slums, though, man?
Man,
All right,
listen.
never mind.
All right, we got
Yo,
it.
Chunks,
So-
he's broke anyway.
Damn.
He is.
That's fucked up.
He's
Wait,
one of the.
So he broke anyway.
He's broke anyway.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, oh,
No, not you.
No, you
my
got
bad.
more money than
No, it's
Kingston
like,
right
yeah,
now.
you got more money than Sean Kingston.
Damn.
Yo, for real, you doing
that's
better.
doubtful, but okay.
You're doing better. No, it's the truth.
Damn.
He spent all his money, bro.
Somebody down there. What?
He was yeah.
Yo, how concerned was Sean Kingston fucking roast session?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Damn.
I went grocery shopping last week. He was there. I'm joking.
bagging
Yo, we should have him on the podcast.
I'm joking.
Oh,
Reignite his career.
You don't play games.
Yeah, man.
He should start a Twitch.
Jeez.
Sean Kingston start a Twitch.
Jeez.
word.
Well, on that note,
Oh dear God! How do you derail a podcast?
Easily.
I don't know.
Talk about Sean
Just,
Kingston.
Talk about
Sean
How did
Kingston.
Sean Kingston come up in a level 857 podcast?
Seriously.
Thanks to the chat for that. That's all the chat right
on
there.
a video game podcast. That's how we do
This is
it.
what the chat does.
They drop the bait and we take it, and then we run with that shit.
Yep.
We fall for it all the time.
Well, any questions in the chat so far before we part ways?
Nah,
Any
chat's
questions?
been,
at
chat's
all?
been on a roll over there.
Yeah.
Doing their thing.
All right. Well, if they don't say anything in the
Sean Kingston.
Ah, chat's laughing. They're good. They're good.
Yeah.
all right. Well,
They are thoroughly entertained.
the thoroughly entertained. Well, I'm sorry, but the party has to end eventually, right?
Parting is such sweet sorrow.
It has to end. It has to end.
Brain Games is
But,
now over. Let's see if you know that reference.
But thanks to everybody out there in the chat. Everybody out there who hasn't already, please subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
We're
And-
growing. We
And,
grow every day.
and follow us on all our social media because we do a lot of giveaways. Even though we didn't do one today, or are we? Are we doing one? No. Yes. No. Okay.
Next time.
I
Next time.
was kind of feeling it out. I was trying to see what's going to.
Next time.
We'll do it next week. We do it
Next week, I don't know. I don't
Actually,
know. Maybe.
there's still something that has to be done for the last one. It's still up for grabs.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we got.
Yo,
You know what?
Check it out.
Next time, I'll think of a nice little questionnaire type of thing.
Oh, well,
We'll do it live on the podcast.
We'll
talk about
we
it.
had that thing we were talking about.
Yeah, we'll
before.
talk about it. Yeah.
But yeah, man, just listen. Follow us on all our social media so you're up to date. You know what's going on. Subscribe to the channel
Sorry.
and watch this podcast live every Wednesday,
That's funny.
7:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Eastern time.
Eastern Standard Time.
Bang bang.
That's
Oh,
right.
yes.
On YouTube.
Yes.
And if you want to listen to the podcast, you could do so on all the streaming services: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff.
All right.
Until next week,
Got stirred up for him.
everybody out there, be safe. Thank you for watching.